Testing. We should be live now. Good. Making sure that the mic is active. All right. Making sure that we're all good. Got to run a few tests because we're having some minor issues. I want to see if we have what we're getting. So sorry guys, I know that things are a little weird right now. My my stream is telling me that we're having some buffering issues. I haven't seen them yet, so we're testing right now to make sure that that is not the case. I'm pulling up a small screen here to see. About to see for ourselves. Moving my mouse around a little bit. Yeah, I'm not getting any serious buffering issues, so I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's not a big deal. We'll see. It's very weird. But I mean, you're not getting any problems, are you, Lark? No problems on your end? Okay. Well, then I think we're good unless we get other problems. And if we do get other problems, we'll just jump over to Lark's computer and hope that works. I just got a really shit computer, guys. I need to get it replaced at some point, but I don't have the money. So I'm caught in the situation where I need to get new equipment to make better money, but I can't change that equipment out until I make that money. So it's an eternal catch-22. I need money, but can't get money until I lose a thing and use money to get the new thing. So it's a little crazy. The volume's a little low on the stream. Okay, let me adjust. Okay, is that any better? I've bumped up the volume on my mic. Is that any better? Let me know. Let me know, because I like to get all this fixed up. I can hear. Are we doing a reading stream, or do you use this art for stuff other than reading? This isn't a reading stream. This is the Warriors Den stream. I just use this art for any time I'm just doing a stream like this. So, yeah, this is the Raven's Roost. This is my little hideaway. This is where I go to read books, read my Bible, and contemplate life. So, welcome one and all. And I hope you don't mind. I'll probably end up eating breakfast while we do this. Not even kidding. Like, I haven't eaten, and I'm hungry. All right. I'm going to head to sleep and watch the stream tomorrow. All right, North Star Samurai, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. It's a live reaction this time, so if it's a user's background, yeah, totally. All right, well, since things seem to be working, I'll switch back to the Roost. There we go. Awesome. Yep, mic is still working perfectly. Good. So how is everyone? Hope you're all doing well. We got 54 viewers. That's a good way to start. Over 50 viewers. Hope life isn't treating you well. It's been okay. I'm waiting on the world to change. You know how it is. Double-handed weapons are known to be quick. Not all of them. What does contemplate mean? Contemplate means to think on something or to meditate on something. Contemplate means that you take a topic or a thing and you really think on it. You really learn about it. You really just mull it over in your head. So if I'm contemplating on life, that means I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about living. I'm thinking about what it means to be alive. I'm just thinking. Oh, that's good tech. Mine says 41. Yeah, it's dropping. It'll do that. My stream numbers always drop. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, of the big For Honor content creators out there, I will have the fewest viewers. And it's not because you guys aren't awesome. It's because I don't talk about stuff in the same way they do. It's sad, but it's true. And that's why I start my streams early, because That way I can yap with you guys and have a fun conversation, and just, get to know my community and maybe draw in more people. And then the real fans will drop in and stick around. All right. Hey Raven, been a while. First, how are you? Second, are you excited for today's stream? I'm very excited for today's stream, and as for how I am, I'm good. Just nervous about a lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of changes in the life. Hey Raven, of all the heroes you played up to this point, who's your most favorite and least favorite? Also, it's been a while since you played Star Wars: The Old Republic. You think I'm getting back on that? Of the heroes that I've played that I think is the most fun, or by most fun to play, I like Nusha the most. I think she's just a lot of fun. As for my least favorite, I don't really like playing Shaman all that much. I've never been very good at her. And as for Star Wars: The Old Republic, I have no plans to do it right now. I don't even think the computer I have could handle that game. So no plans on getting back on that right now. Like I said, my computer's crap, and we need to get it replaced, but I can't do that yet. You would say you're more casual and lore-focused For Honor streamer. I'm a more casual player, for sure. And, yeah, I do talk about the lore, but lore isn't even what I'm that great at. Like, everyone says I'm the lore YouTuber. I don't even know if I'd go that far, Are sickles a good weapon? Not really. I wouldn't choose them. Hey Raven, pray for me. I got out of team lead manager interview for Walmart. Oh, great. Good luck with that. What time did the power finally come back on at our place? About maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm playing 76 while listening to this. Okay. Did you hear about Greta Thunberg's failed attempt in Israel? Greta Thunberg's failed attempt in Israel. No, haven't heard about that. I don't keep up with Greta Thunberg. I don't really keep up with her. When was the last time Vortigern was mentioned in the lore? I don't know. It's been a while, man. It has been a while, man. Hey, everyone, I have a question for story writing. I'm trying to build a vampiric nation set in modern era. Any ideas? Okay, so you're setting it up in modern era, and it's vampiric, and it's a nation. So make sure that it is a nation of vampires with a modern aesthetic. There you go. There's my suggestion. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but at the same time, I don't know anything about the story, so I don't know what to tell you. I can't give advice unless I know more about the story. What are your thoughts on a hero that uses a Grim Reaper scythe? I don't think it'll work, but I mean, then again, they've made things that I didn't expect working For Honor before, so who knows? You sound down today. You okay? It's early. I'm tired, and I'm nervous about an important interview tomorrow. I'm getting into it. Bear with me, Samuel. Wow, vampire modern setting sounds like a good concept. It can be. Hey, Mr. Stealth, how you doing? I'm back from the gym and now dead on the couch. Yep, been there. Raven, have you looked into Claire Obscura Expedition 33? Maybe even played it? Nope. I mean, I know about it. Everyone's been talking about it. I haven't touched it yet because, again, I don't have money. I need to be very careful about what I spend money on. I need to be making good money. Because for those of you who don't know, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I do not have a summer job. This is my summer job. YouTube and Twitch. This is my summer job. And this is an experiment because I'm trying to see how profitable the channel can be if I dedicate all of my time and energy to working on it. I need to make sure that it's profitable. And in order for this channel to be profitable, it needs to make a certain amount of money just to break even. And we're not there yet. We haven't made that money yet for it to break even for this month. So I have to be very careful about what I spend money on over the next 2 months because I won't be making money from anything else. So I can't just go, oh, new game, let me buy that. Oh, new game, I want to buy that. I can't do that. I just can't. If you send me money and say, hey, use this money to buy a game, that's different. But I can't just say, oh, let me drop $60 on this game that everyone likes. I just can't afford to do that. that you think we should have a Mongolian warrior? Hatun. Hatun is a Mongolian warrior. Hatun is our Mongolian warrior. Literally the last hero they added. Hey, Whiskey. There's the War Scythe, though it's not like the Grim Reaper Scythe. I always look at the War Scythe and assume it's just more of a glaive. If you could bring a historical weapon into the game and have a character for it, what would you pick? Qatar punch daggers and give them to a Rajput. I still watch your Heroes of History playlist. One of my favorite is Shugoku. I even go back to the Black Plier sermon once in a while. Powerful performance. Hope to find more videos like that. I will probably work on more of those in the future. Where do you think the next Outlander will be from, Raven? We've had an Asiatic pirate, an Egyptian, an Aztec, an Arabian, and Mongolian. So where next? I'm not sure. Maybe Eastern Europe. Hey Raven, how have you been? Returning from a break from For Honor, which hero are you playing the most recently? I play everybody, but I've been playing a lot of Hatun lately because she's new and I've been working on her. Raven, what's your opinion on low fantasy writing? How subdued should things like Magic or Dragons be before it is too much fantasy? The thing about low fantasy is you can, it's going to depend. If it's low fantasy, it's going to depend on what aspects of fantasy you're adding. Are there other races in this low fantasy setting? Is there magic in this low fantasy setting? Like, what level of magic are we talking? Are we talking hard magic, soft magic? Are we talking world-changing magic or just minor illusions? Or are we making this like the Sorcerer's Apprentice? Like, what are we doing, you know? It's really going to depend on what you're aiming for in the story, and I think that there's no right or wrong way to handle that. Or even, what was your very first video on your channel? For Honor, my very first video was the For Honor Analyze series, which I'm restarting. But overall, it was a college assignment, I think. Will I continue my Black Cobra stories? Yes, I will. How's Lark doing? He's here. I'm alive. He's here. He's doing okay. What's your most played hero overall? Warden. Warden is my highest rep. Warden is my highest rep. I think we'll see from the Battle Pass hints as to where the new hero comes from. Maybe. Raven, what's your opinion on the Age of Sigmar? Do you have a favorite faction? In Warhammer Fantasy, my favorite faction is probably Cathay. Just because Cathay is cool, and I studied Chinese history. And I like dragons, so that helps. And do I like Age of Sigmar? I guess it's okay. I just don't like how we got there. Like, in order to get to Age of Sigmar, we had to have the End Times. And Warhammer, the End Times is shit. I think many people would agree with that. Do I think a Kopesh here would be good? I guess, but we already have an Egyptian. Oh, hey, Hannah, glad you're here. Whoa, Cringe F69 with A50. Hope you're doing well, Raven. Wondering if you have an Imperial Guard homebrew or if you have a favorite Guard faction. I do have an Imperial Guard homebrew. Modeled after Jurassic Park, believe it or not. Yes, Hannah, celebrate. I modeled it after Jurassic Park. Basically, the idea is that they're from a planet that has prehistoric animals on it, like dinosaurs and stuff. They have learned how to tame these animals and ride them into battle. Yeah, the Exodites can cope and seethe. once they're relevant, then we'll.
We made canon specifically so that people like Pancreas know work and the Eldar fanboys like we're finally getting dinosaur models. Like, really, the Exodites? Nah, Imperial Guard faction.
You son of a. Anyway, hey Raven, this is my first time in your live, so I wanted to say hi and ask a few questions. Hey Deontay, you can ask whatever you like, man. That's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this early so that we can chat. What if there was a new faction, humor me with these for a while, a new faction from medieval India and call them Rajput or anything? I've been saying we need Rajput for a while. I don't think we need a faction, but I want a Rajput hero at least. I am so celebrating. Hey, Andy, you're so celebrating? You're celebrating right now because of that Imperial Guard idea I had? Yeah. Have I played Black Myth Wukong? Yes, I did play that. Very fun. Hard game to beat. Very hard game because when you fight the final boss, Wukong himself, it's not fair. It's not fair. So hiring is Hannah? Yes, Truthseeker, hiring is Hannah. I make my knight characters minus black power due to not having the color scheme called the Red Phoenix Legion. Thoughts about that? That's fine. I think that's cool. Just to balance the faction war, Outlander is more of a mercenary for me, or really part of a real faction. That's fair. Arc Survival Evolved Guard is great. Yeah, I think so. Treats you what's good, Pookie. Ah. Hey, Raven, if we were to get Outlander themed maps, which one would you like to see the most? I'd love to see an Aztec City map. That'd be cool. Do you have a favorite single-player game you recommend for me to play? I don't know what kind of games you like. I will always recommend Black Myth Wukong. I will always recommend Neo. I will always recommend The Witcher 3. Those are good single-player games. Who is the most unintentionally funny character in 40K? Unintentionally funny. I don't know, because all the characters that are funny are usually intentionally funny. Like Caiaphas Cain. Have you seen the new Saturday Night Terminators? I like how goofy they look. I have not. What about a Spartan? But personally, I'd love to see a Zulu or a Polynesian. I mean, whatever works. Hey, you know, whatever works. I mean, JJ, sweet. I feel it's going to be a rapier or saber hero, since the hero skin is probably going to be a Caribbean pirate. Yeah, that's my suspicion and concern. Do I believe we'll ever get a For Honor 2? There's a possibility. But I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. You know? The true final boss in any video game is yourself, just like in Doom Eternal. Ha! You recently said you like Jurassic Park. What's your favorite Jurassic Park movie? The first. I don't think you can top the first. The original Jurassic Park movie is the best. Does Centurion's Fist Gauntlet count as a Kestis? Yes, I would say so. Of all the videos you've done, Raven, which one was your favorite to work on? Probably most of the Heroes in History. Those have been a lot of fun to make. Those are a lot of fun to make. I also love the ones where I do reading, like where I read my stories, but no one watches those. So I had more fun making them than people did watching them. I'm honestly nervous because in a couple of weeks I will finally play For Honor for the first time. Why are you nervous? It's fun. For Honor's fun. Hey, Reverend Norse with SEK 100. Imperial Guard riding dinos reminds me of the old cartoon about the Dino Riders. Future humans crash spaceships through time, end up on old Earth, tame dinos, and put space lasers on them. That's actually kind of baller, I'm not going to lie. But thank you for the donation. Wow, that is awesome. Thank you so much. All these donations, guys. This is really helping me out. This is really helping me out. Personally, a Spartan would be too close to Valk, at least in combat style. That's my big concern about adding a Spartan hero. I don't know how you'd make them fight differently. Hey, Mal, what's up, man? Braven, how many chickens have you counted today? None so far. Don't make me start. Never played it. That's why. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. This is a server dedicated to the game. What's my favorite dinosaur? Utah Raptor. Utah Raptor. Because I like raptors. In fact, Hannah knows that I work with raptors a lot. Isn't that right, Hannah? If she knows. We're at 89 viewers. Yeah, we're climbing a little. My goal for this stream is I want to get to 200 viewers. I want to get to 200. I don't think we will, but I want to get to 200. Can we get to 200, guys? Let's see. Raven, have you seen a game called Tattletale? No, I have not. Trazen is kind of unintentionally funny to me. No, he's meant to be funny. Trazen is meant to be funny for the community.
Silly little guy.
He's meant to be funny. Like when you see that scene where like he says we have to save the wine. It's like you don't drink wine. Of course not. It's too valuable. Like it's too expensive.
Like, or the time like where he shows off the fact that he and his guard pretended to be space marines, and that is like a planet that like worships him.
Yep. I first listened to your Night Angel streams, and I'm thinking about which to start next. Maybe Journey to the West, so I'll be caught up to the next reading stream. That's a good plan, because next Monday I do plan to get back to the reading streams. What time is the event? You mean the Warriors Den? We've got 70 minutes, so we've got an hour and 10 minutes. Isn't that fun? You get to yap with me for an hour and 10 minutes. Raven, what's your opinion on Caiaphas Cain? He's baller. He's got major imposter syndrome, but he's awesome. Like, I honestly think that he's more of a hero than he gives himself credit for. What's your favorite herbivore dinosaur? I guess Brontosaurus. I guess like Why we tail we tops? Yes. Why we tail we tops? I recently saw a man in YouTube Shorts that practiced with a weapon that's called a meteor hammer. I'd love to see a hero with that kind of weapon. Yeah, it'd be cool. Can you give us a good orc impression? The key to doing good orc. Hold on. When you're doing an orc impression, you gotta get your voice low as possible. And you're gonna talk like you got a Cockney accent. You also talk like your lower jaw is jutting out from the rest of your mouth. That's the key doing proper orc. You also never end a single sentence with anything less than a vowel sound. Anyway. Since you like Utah rappers, I think that you'll like the Primitive War. One of the dinosaurs is a Utah rapper named Cyclops. He has a combat knife in his eye. That's terrifying. Hey, Raven, just so you know, your story of your pirate is my favorite of your hero stories. I love that you had it being told by a member of her crew. That was one of the most fun legends I ever wrote. I'm not going to lie. I had so much fun planning that out. It was awesome. So, Raven, how are your Raptor girls doing? Can you give Blue hugs for me? You know the Raptor girls aren't real, right? I'm still working on that story, but I've got other stories I need to finish up first. Like, I'm still in the process of editing my Revenant King story. Hey, got 100 Australia. I think that's Australian money from Perfect Orc. Hey, thank you. I come from a land down under. That's fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Your accents are legendary. I was an actor for a couple of years. So I know how to do impressions and stuff.
You leave quite the impression.
Hey, Raven, long-time viewer here. I'd like to ask, since you've rated every unique execution, what is your favorite out of all of them? Thank you, Nathan. My favorite execution out of all of them, it's hard to pick because I like so many of them, but if I did have to pick, it's got to be Maximum Shaolin. Shaolin's execution, Maximum Shaolin. It's so over the top. It's so stupid, and yet I love it to death. It's so good. I know I'm being silly. Yeah, you're good, Tech. You're good. Cool, but how the fuck would you fit a meteor in For Honor combat? No, Meteor Hammer. Wait, didn't we include my pirate in that story, like a little cameo thing? Yes, I believe we did. I think I mentioned them. If you had to choose one hero to protect you while the others will try to kill you, who would you pick? Me, Black Prior, all the way. Lawbringer. Because not in both gameplay and in real life, he's got the best armor, best weapon, and in the game, he's one of the most broken. Good morning, Raven. Hope things are better today. They are better. Yesterday, just a lot of bad stuff happened, one thing after another. Mickey Mouse, Orc, Raven. I don't know if I could combine Mickey Mouse and Orc. I think that'd be very difficult because I'd lean too much into one or the other.
One you have to go super deep, one you have to go super high. That'd be really
yeah. Which warrior's history and background is the best to you? Everyone here's the funny thing. I have a sneaking suspicion that the new hero skin is going to be a pirate hero skin, and I also have a theory that it's going to be male. That like they're going to make it a male hero skin. And look, I don't mind that. I don't mind them doing that, but I wish that they wouldn't. Because I think that the fact that they made it a Cantonese woman's character was a stroke of genius. Favorite and worst season until now? My favorite season until now was probably the Black Prior season. And my least favorite was probably the Aphira season.
Actually, are you sure your favorite isn't the Yorogumo season?
The Jorogumo season was really good, wasn't it? Oh, shit. That's hard to call.
That was like, that might be my favorite game mode we've got.
It was that game mode was perfect. That game mode was perfect. It's not my most favorite, but I agree Maximum Shaolin is peak. It is so good. Raven, can you do a Hank Hill voice? Wasn't Hank Hill the dude from...
Damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby, I told you to keep your eye on the damn steaks. I don't watch enough King of the Hill to make sure I do that right. I've watched some of it. I just haven't watched a lot of it. I see like clips of it from time to time. Yeah. Blackbeard from Assassin's Creed. Please, God, no.
Listen,
Please, God, no.
Listen, I actually want a Caribbean pirate, but I don't want it to be based off of Blackbeard. Honestly, I would agree. I kind of want it to be like the Davy Jones kind of look.
Yeah,
If
you're gonna go, make it like the Sun Wukong skin. Just go all the way. Can I do?
Davy Jones comes out, it's a freak. That'd be awesome.
$10 from Aaron. If you had to make a dream team of one warrior from every faction for a 5v5 game of pickup basketball, who you picking? Okay, I'm picking Lawbringer. I'm picking Highlander. I'm picking Medjai. I'm picking yeah, Shaolin, yep, no doubt. And then the last one, I think I'll go Hitakiri. Because no one's stopping them once they come running in.
Not Hitakiri, Sohei.
Oh, no, you're right, Sohei. He's got that height on him. He's got that height. Hear me out, French woman musketeer for a new hero. If they can make it work. I just don't want it to be Blackbeard. Blackbeard's so overrated. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the guy, but I think a part of it is just a principle thing for me now. Everyone was bitching, give us Blackbeard. Why you give us Chinese lady? We want Blackbeard. I'm like, you do realize Blackbeard, as famous as he is, was not that successful, right? And he was not that infamous. The biggest thing he did was blockaded Charleston, and he didn't even take any lives when he did it. He used intimidation tactics, which is cool. But then people go, but he was so much better than that Chinese pirate. I'm like, no, he wasn't. No, she was actually way more successful, was way more long-lasting, and she successfully retired and died at old age. He tried to retire, got midlife crisis, went back into it within a year, and died trying.
I will give him this. He did have drip.
Which hero do you think is the smelliest? Every time, well, Shaman probably doesn't know how to bathe, so she's a contender. But I'd also lean on Goki because I just see him sprinting across the battlefield, and I'm like, dude, sweat's flying off that boy. Smart choice picking Medjay. It's not because he's black, it's because he's tall. I was talking about tall characters. I was looking at height. I love how that's the first thought. Because he's black. Like, no!
Remember, we can change the race of pretty much any other character so we can have a full decked out team from now.
Blackbeard was a good guy in Black Flag. Yeah, Black Flag kind of ruined the historical Blackbeard.
Yeah, that's the thing. In Black Flag.
Yeah, Black Flag kind of screwed it.
I'm going to argue, no, he wasn't a good guy in Black Flag. I'm not going to argue he's not. Because he was still a pirate. He still raid, pillage, and plundered. You can argue he wasn't as bad as some of the other pirates. And yet, he still killed people for profit.
I can't do more pirate after this Hero Fest. Oh, dude, trust me, I can.
Yar.
Blackbeard was more of a telltale. Blackbeard was famous because of how infamous. Like, he was famous because of his intimidation tactics. He scared people. But that's how he avoided dying early on, because he scared people into submission. Wasn't Charles Vane more successful than Blackbeard, as well as Rackham? Yes, I believe both of them were more successful. Chung Shi strangled the Qing, then convinced her to join them. Well, basically, Chung Shi, I did a whole video on her. Chung Shi, basically, here's the thing. I'll give Chung Shi this. I will offer this. China at the time had a shit navy, so they really didn't have anything to compete with her. But even then, she ruled the China Sea, outwitted the European Navy when they came to try to stop her, but knew that she couldn't do it for much longer. So she negotiated terms with the Chinese government, the Qing government, and then retired. Like, hey, that's style points. That's style points. If you want more information, go check out my video. I was asked, Raven, can you do an Obama impression? I don't know. Can I do an Obama? I haven't done Obama in ages. Now, when talking about pirate, I don't want to get it twisted. Pirate is a very underrated hero in the world of For Honor. I believe that when people first saw Pirate, the first thing they thought was that Pirate would not be a fun character. They saw an OP female character when all they wanted was Jack Sparrow. But not every pirate can be Jack Sparrow. Yeah, I don't do Obama as well. Obama's not my best. Anyway. Will a new hero be shown or session? It's not going to be new hero. It's going to be a new hero fest. Not hero fest. Fuck. Hero skin. We're getting a new hero skin. Yeah, Obama's not my best. I can't do Obama that well. My fellow Americans. I cannot do Obama that well. Trump orc. I can't combine orc with other people. I can do orc. I can't combine orc with other people. Orc is just too unique. My Trump impression. Now listen. I think all the people out there who play pirate and enjoy it are good people. But then you got some of the pirate haters. These haters out that you know them. I know them. They're fake. They're all fake. That's not me saying that. That's everyone else saying that. Over 100 viewers. Yes, we've popped 100. Now, we got to get to 200. My goal for this stream is 200 viewers. Like I said, I don't think we'll make it, but I'm going to dream big. You sound like a hillbilly? I mean, I kind of am. I kind of am a hillbilly. I mean, I'm a southern fried gentleman. Well, I'm talking to you. Anyway, your Warren Vidic impression is always funny. Warren Vidic? Who's Warren Vidic? Hold on, who's that? Lark, who's Warren Vidic? I don't remember that name. What franchise has the best orcs? In terms of just all around comedy, Warhammer. But in terms of actual creativity, I don't know. Maybe Elder Scrolls? Your Obama impression sounds like Bill Clinton. No, if I wanted to sound like Bill Clinton, I'd talk a lot more soft and laid back. And also say I did not have sex with that woman. My voice would be a little higher. I also talk like I've got too much phlegm in the back of my throat because I'm trying not to upset my wife. I'm worried she'll kick my ass. If you were in charge of year 10, what would you like to do with the game? First of all, if I was in charge of year 10, I would try to push some more maps. I'd take a break from making heroes. We don't need any more new heroes right now. We need new maps, new game modes, new things to spice up the game right now. That's what we need. That's what I would focus on. I'm a southern fried gentleman. Hey there, Adar. Or Adair, whichever it is. Could you do a Vader impression? Not without the proper mask. Oh, I don't think you know what you're talking about, Mr. Miles. Pastor Raven voice, Raven. My brothers and sisters. Haven't been here in a while since I've been peacefully processing with fire. Peacefully processing with fire, that's concerning. Would you date an orc girl? If she's attractive and friendly, yeah. I wouldn't mind if she's attractive and loves me for me, yeah. I don't have a problem dating outside my race. That's totally fine with me. I've done it before. I'll do it again. When does it start? We have... Come on, mouse. Where are you? There you go. We have less than an hour. We have 57 minutes. We need a Biden skin or a Trump skin for a Lawbringer? No, we don't. Please, no. Please, no. We need a fist-fighting hero, then we can stop making heroes? No, I don't want to see a fist-fighting hero. It's the last thing I want to see. The day they add a fist-fighting hero is the day that I lose faith in For Honor. Raven, who would Trump's, Obama's, and Biden's mains be in For Honor? Oh, God. Trump's main would probably be the Lawbringer. Obama's main would probably be, I don't know enough about him. Biden's, I don't know enough about Obama to know who he'd play. And as for Biden's, Shugoki, because he doesn't require that much brain power to use. I'm pretty sure you heard what's going on with California, Raven, and rest assured I'm okay, thankfully. Yeah, I've heard about what's going on in LA. That's crazy stuff. How viable is Hatun's weapons in real life? Pretty damn! Turco-Mongol sabers are very useful. Funny story, when I was a kid, I dressed up as Darth Vader for Halloween years ago. That's awesome. Would you date a female who worships Slanesh? No, I would not. Random thought, PK, they are meant to be cabal of sorts, all orphan girls, etc. Anyone finding old lore conflicting with new one confusing? I don't know the new lore. Would you want a DVD Oni crossover hero skin for Shugoki? Yes, I would. Wow, they're coming in fast. Aren't we supposed to get more maps or something this year? We're getting 2 reworked maps. I think what we need is a rework for Warmonger and Griffin, since they were made in pandemic time and mocap wasn't a thing available. I wouldn't mind that, but at the same time, they're both really good as they are, so I don't want to ruin what's already fine. Would you kiss a ghost? Depends. Is she nice? Raven, who do you think would be the funniest hero IRL? Shaman. Like she reminds me of like a dog or a cat. They have dirt moments. Like, I'm mostly a retired player who tunes into these streams most of the time. I like Warmonger and stuff, but Horkos confuses me. I get that. Obama would be a warden. Feels in line with his vibe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. Dual wielding the sabers though, it's possible. What For Honor heroes would be Primarchs main? Would either Primarchs main? I'm not even going into that. I don't even know, man. Hey Raven, I hope this stream goes well for you. I got to go to work. Oh well, see you later. See you next time, bro. Hey Raven, 114 people. Let's go. Yes, let's keep pushing. If they did an official Star Wars crossover hero skin, what would it go for? I don't want a Star Wars hero skin. I don't want For Honor to go Fortnite. Let's avoid that. Obama would probably be a Kensei main. Again, I don't know enough about him to know what he'd play. How the F would you kiss a ghost? Very carefully. Man, I just want a new armor that ain't a helmet for once. Fair. I just changed their animations like they did with a Warden last year. Fair. I see you. Haven't kept up with the For Honor lore. What is this year's shtick? This year, I have no idea. I don't know what they're really doing this year. Raven, would you join the White Scars or the Black Templars? White Scars. They seem like good people. Actually, I'm curious about your suggestions of what kinds of maps you would like to see in For Honor. An Aztec map. Maybe a dual map on a pirate ship. Maybe something like that. What's the most modern warrior you would allow in For Honor? Pirate. That was the most modern warrior I'll allow. Would you accept a fist fighting here if they had dual Kestis? No. No, I would not. I still wouldn't allow it. I still wouldn't like it. It's cringe. And don't get me wrong, I'm a martial artist. The problem is it doesn't fit in or go in line with what For Honor is meant to be. What's my thoughts on Lionel Johnson? He's my favorite Primarch of all of them. He is the GOAT. He's the strongest. He's the best. When it comes to the Primarchs, he is always S tier. Hey, I got 70 Czars from Bishop. How you doing, man? Hey, Raven, can't wait to watch. Got work, but still wanted to show my support. One question, though. What Primarch do you like whose Legion you hate and vice versa? Oh, great question. I like Mortarion, but I hate his Legion. That's a great question. I like Mortarion. I hate the Death Guard. Is that weird? I think that's weird, but yeah, that's a great question. This year's theme is game mode changes. Yeah, I was looking more in terms of a lore thing. Raven, I think For Honor is becoming sort of like Fortnite, except less random characters and more Destiny, Prince of Persia, and AC, and probably any other Ubisoft game. Okay, so here's the thing. I do want to address this. I want to address this. So here's what I think about that. What is Fortniting a game? Well, you got to understand what Fortnite did. What Fortnite was, it was originally supposed to be a zombie shooter game. But no one played it for the zombie shooter stuff. They played it for the online PvP matchmaking and with the cool build mechanics. So the creators of Fortnite had to say, all right, what are we going to do? Like, the zombie fight shooting thing isn't working out, so what are we going to do? Well, let's put in marketing. Let's add some funny emotes. Let's add some funny cosmetics. Let's make things a bit random and goofy. That worked. So they started getting in new licenses and IPs and throwing in all these different outfits from different IPs and licenses that I just talked about. So Star Wars got in there. You have Marvel get in there. You have DC get in there. You have anime get in there. You have all this stuff getting in there. And now Fortnite is just a meme tank. It is just this thing where you go in and, yeah, you can play games, but more than anything, it's about the new memes, the new characters you can be, the new emotes you can do, all that nonsense. Is For Honor doing that? No, For Honor's not doing that. For Honor has added skins from other IPs, for sure, but the majority of them have been either Ubisoft titles or titles that they have tried to make work within the lore of For Honor. So I give them that credit. They have started down the road of Fortniting, but they have not gotten that bad. At the very least, they haven't gotten as bad as Call of Duty has. When I can get on Call of Duty and see Nicki Minaj chasing around Alucard, shooting him with a bazooka, you've gone too far. Let's go, man. I knew you were into Dark Angels. I love the Dark Angels, dude. Might start a fight here. I think resurrective immortality is arguably the worst power to have. I won't argue with him. I don't think that's a good power. I mean, it's a power. You remind me of Zesty. Jesus, he too doesn't want Team Fortress 2 becoming Fortnited by Valve in the community. I don't know who Zesty Jesus is, but I'll take the compliment if that's a compliment. Raptor, what's up, bro? How you doing? I saw you got your thumbnail all put together. Excellent, excellent. Looking forward to the stream, bro. Who would you like to see for DBD's 10th anniversary, original or license? I'm tired of the licenses in DBD. I want some original stuff back. Oh my God, Raptor Rex is here. Yeah, guys, Raptor Rex, one of the coolest. He's the GOAT. Raptor's one of the coolest. I love whenever we get folks like Raptor or Havoc or Wextra in here. It's always cool to see my friends. Fist here and For Honor is just stupid. Agreed. Speaking about Star Wars, what do you think about the rumors about Darth Vader coming one day in DBD? No! That's what I think about that. What's up, Yahweh is the King? Oh boy, I forgot how much I despise the Dark Angels. You're free to not like them. That's heresy. You're free to not like them. But you will not be able to argue why they're bad to me. You will not win that argument. What hero do you think the Doomslayer will fit? Conqueror. Thanks for the thumbnail. No problem, bro. No problem at all. Glad to help. Anytime. Anytime you need help like that, I can help out. I also want more original DBD content. Agreed. Hey, Raven Guy, question. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? Every day. At least once. Hello, everyone, and our Lord Raven. What's your opinion about the Destiny of Ended For Honor? It wasn't the best. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a neat idea and some cool stuff. I'm not a big Destiny fan, so I thought it was kind of creative, and I found it neat, but I can understand why people weren't fond of it. Outside of Warmonger Legend thing, what do you... oh, I didn't read that. Do you stream on console or PC for Honor stuff? I stream on PlayStation. Hey, 35, I think that's euros, from Some Weird Ninja Tune. Hey, Raven, I hope your summer's going to be good. Currently getting slowly back into For Honor, remaking OC stories. Thanks for the motivation boost. That's getting me back into writing. You're welcome, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's one negative you can say about all the founding legions, including the traitors? Oh, I can say one negative thing about all of them. I can say one negative thing about all of them, but we'd be here too long talking about that, I feel like. I might do a video on that. That might be a fun video to say one negative and one positive thing about each legion. That might be fun. We could do that. We could do that, Lark. Yeah, we could do that. I've said numerous times that Azrael would turn Sigismund into mush without trying. No joke, he would. Azrael went toe-to-toe with Karn the Betrayer and nearly won. The only reason he didn't win was because he knew if he killed Karn, it would kill him too, and he couldn't leave his chapter leader list at a crucial time like this. So he chose not to kill him.
He also fought freaking Vashtor.
And you're right, thank you, Lark, for reminding me. He fought Vashtor, who's one of the closest entities to becoming a chaos god. And no, he didn't beat Vashtor, but he held his own, which is more than most Space Marines could do.
I am a Sigismund fanboy, so I think the fight would definitely be close.
Yeah, it would be a close fight, but Azrael, no, dude.
I would go so far as to say I think Sigismund would kick Karn's ass.
Dark Angels are cool, but some of their fans are petty about Black Templars being more popular Space Knights.
I actually don't care about the Black Templars. My first box set was a Black Templars.
Yeah.
I transitioned over to Dark Angels. I like both.
What if we had a knight with a Zweihander? Hi, Warmonger. Dead by Daylight crossover is so cool, and I'm still thinking about they should do at least 3 monsters in the game as NPC hero. I want them to bring back the Dead by Daylight event. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, fun.
What do you think about multiplayer being locked behind PS Plus? I don't have an opinion on that. Raven, since you're a Dark Angels fan, I'm contractually obligated to fist fight you for 3 days straight without rest. Oh, you're a Space Wolf fan. Whatever you do, don't watch my video on the Space Wolves, because I am being harassed almost weekly by Space Wolf fans for that. Because
You should watch it. You should totally watch it.
Can you understand why Karn hates Erebus? Yes, everyone hates Erebus. There is not one person who thinks Erebus, you're cool. Hey, Raven, are we ever going to find out what happened to Ruth and Ultor in the arena? Okay, so Happy Gorgon, the reason I haven't continued that story, there was going to be a part 2, but the reason I haven't continued it is 3 reasons. Number 1, not a lot of people watched the first one. Number 2, I was just getting out of the school thing and getting into this new job, and I need to focus on getting out content that people will watch so that this can make a profit. And 3, I am currently in the process of editing a book for publishing, and so I've been dedicating all my writing energy to that. That's what's going on there. Will I finish it? If it gets enough views, I will finish it. So we'll see, but I probably will finish it at some point. Oh, Raven, I got to tell you, your writing advice has really helped view TV shows and movies better than just for effects. Well, I think that's good. I think that's good. Too late, already saw it. Ah, okay. Well, as long as we can peacefully disagree, as long as we can be, on the same page, If they bring back the DBD event, I feel like DBD should get a Warmonger skin for the night. DBD should get a Hitakiri killer. Me, 1,000 Suns fan. Space Wolves! Yeah, pretty much. Calth was an act of self-defense victory to monarchy. Now, let's be real. Imperial Fists are the coolest loyalists. Okay, I'm going to say this, Rhoda, and I'm going to say this with love. The Imperial Fists were awesome. They were awesome. They are no longer awesome. Imagine if you could have one customizable color palette with each basic colors in monotone shades. That'd be neat. Iron Words on top, you couldn't nuke because we are... Oh, wow, they're coming in fast. Hey, Raven, as a Blood Ravens fan, I'm regulated to steal Lark's Lamentars for the Dark Angels Relic. Lamentations for the Dark Angels Relic. Very fair. By the way, what I mean with rework for Warmonger and Griffin is just to add update for their movesets. Gotcha. Now, I understand. I'm just saying I'm worried about fixing them too much. Hey, Raven, I'm still at work, but I'm going to use the stream as a podcast so I can stay in the loop. Awesome. Excellent. Glad you're here. I'm quite disappointed on how Dark Angels haven't been important since the comeback of Lion. Also with Fulgrim, he doesn't have so much importance on his book. Yeah, that's my big problem too. Lion has come back and he hasn't really done anything, and I'm kind of like, come on, man, get to work. Hoping to get some 1400s inspired armor due to Kingdom Come's popularity. I don't know if we'll do that, but we can hope. Me, who also been waiting for the part 2 of that Apollyon skin for Knight and DBD. Let's go. I'm a Blood Ravens who like to take stuff and call it research. Fair enough. We are fine, as you are a fan of my second favorite loyalist legion, the Huggy Boys, who are obsessed with fire and melta weapons. I like the Salamanders fine. It's just I get annoyed sometimes. DBD should get a DBD crossover. For Honor should get a For Honor event. That's my 2 cents. I agree with you, Rosa. I agree with you. Hey, Demon Ember. Night Lord here just chilling. Night Lord. Cool. Don't come near me. Raven, I'm a dumbass European. Can you share your American wisdom with me? Here's some American wisdom. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars... That's just a sample of my wisdom. If you want more wisdom, you can come back later. I'll share some more. Raven, I think I have the Black Plague. Then don't spread it. Whatever you do, when you were taught as a child, sharing is good. Don't do that right now. Hello, Raven. Hello, Raven. I'm a fan of your videos. I found you through the Executions rating. Glad you found me through that and not something cringe. I mean, Lion defeated Angron to save his weak brother Gilliman. Yes, he did, but he didn't save Gilliman in doing that. The legend question was, do you have any advice for writing a warmonger legend that is a defector from Horkos? Because the ideal of what war is, trying to show a redeeming lens. Lots of people have done that, so it's not too difficult. Talking about Warhammer, I wish the Tau could use lightsabers. Talking about Warhammer, the Tau are cringe! Raven, can you give a Cajun accent to Vulcan? No. I mean, I see it with a Jamaican accent. Also, Salamanders player here. Nice to meet you. Good, good. You? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. My European controversial take: kilometer is better than miles. No, here's the thing: we don't measure things in miles. This is a common misconception. Americans don't measure things in miles. We measure freedom meters and cheeseburgers. We're at 123 viewers now. Let's go! Remember, Blood Ravens. It's called strategically transferring equipment to alternate locations. I'm still killing you in the name of the Emperor. He has a lovely voice. Raven casually reading like Speedy Gonzalez. I'm trying! They're coming so fast! I don't want to skip people. I definitely respect the published author thing. I have trouble forcing myself to write out of story ideas, so I'm glad you are pushing past that issue. I've published 2 books. This will be number 3, so let's go. So this is a battle versus Slaanesh Haposai. Slaanesh Haposai! Dear God! Like, that... Haposai is already terrible! Hey Raven, 40K question. What are the Dark Elves based off of? They're based off of Dark Elves. Hey Raven, what time is the Warriors in? We have 40 minutes. Whew, I've got to keep reading. Hey, thank you for the Czar 35. Never mind, they sent me home. Second question. What Primarch do you hate whose Legion you like? God. I don't like Angron, but I like the World Eaters. There, I said it. However, my favorite Legion of all, the best Legion of all, led by chosen son of himself, Horus Lupercal, the mighty 15th Legion, the Luna Wolves, sons of Horus Lupercal for the War Master. They were awesome until they became the Black Legion. Now they're cringe. The flesh is weak, but deeds endure. Very true. And that's 197. Yes, it is. We're making money. We're making money. Raven, you can say what you want about Lionel Johnson, but he will never be as gorgeous as Gilliman. You know what? I would agree with you, except this isn't a beauty contest. This is a war contest. Tell you what, while Gilliman does his beauty sleep and does his perm, Lion will be out there actually fixing the problems of the Imperium. So get wrecked, son. Like I said, you can say what you want. You cannot diss the Lion or the Dark Angels in my presence. I will always be one step better than you. Why one step? Because they're the first. Anyway, hard question, eh? It is a hard question. 50 minutes. Let's go. No, 40 minutes. Let's go further. Dark Angels, we are classic Drow, Dark Elves, and Pirate Mafia. Add in a little bit of the hedonism, and you're correct. In terms of combat strength, where would you rank Gilliman? Very low. Gilliman is not very strong in terms of combat. Raven, which Primarch would enjoy pistachios the least? All of them? Raven, microwave moment. Yeah, Raven, what do you think someone thinks of their first impression of you as your... What do you think someone thinks if their first impression of you is your video on the female Primarchs? They probably think I'm a gooner, and that is not true. Does the new hero get revealed today? Nope. I think we need more For Honor story mode stuff. I agree. Salamanders. They annoy me. If For Honor ever gets another crossover with a futuristic game, it needs to be with Warhammer. Imagine. Yes! I've been writing that story. New hero, no. Only new skin. Correct. Rowboat Girdly Man with the Eldar waifu. Correct. Hence why I don't include the Black Legion during the Heresy Sons of Horus for peak. Correct. Sanguinius versus the Lion. Who wins? Lion. Lion wins. I have my reasons. I'm fortifying this live chat. Thank you. $5 from Tech Girl. Pace yourself these, Raven, and drink some tea or water later for your voice. You'll thank me for it. Actually, I do need to get a drink. Raven, you cannot lie. Sanguinius is better than Lion, for he is the great angel. Lion is better than Sanguinius because I know this because of all the Primarchs coming to stop him, Horus was most afraid of the Lion getting there. There's a reason for that. 40K collab with For Honor, Demonette, Warhammer, Shaman Drukari. This is correct. Black Templar skin for Black Prior. That'd be cool. Bro, you're okay. Breathe, brother. Breathe. I am breathing. Just not as often as I should be. $5 from the funny tech lady. Yeah. Gilliman was just as integral to the Imperium's recovery. And Gilliman was very integral to the Imperium's recovery. But the Lion's the one going out fighting. Here's the thing. The reason I said what I said, Dexter, is the argument Samuel made was Gilliman is prettier than the Lion. And I'm like, prettiness is not relevant to me. 126 viewers. Let's go. You know I got to look out for you, Raven. Everyone has to. All right. I'm taking a break from reading so I can get a drink. 1 second. Woo! That's a lot of reading. Be right back. Sorry about that. If I missed your comment, I apologize. Raven sounding like an auctioneer right now? Oh, I can't do an auctioneer impression. I can't talk quite that fast. Your opinion on... You mentioned getting breakfast early before the Warriors in. It might be worth looking into that. Yeah, I got breakfast right here. I haven't really touched it all that much. Let me eat. Raven eating ASMR. Gross. 20 sex from SEKs. I said sex, but you know what I mean. Reverend Norris, Girly Man is a traitor. Down with the Smurf father. Gilliman is superior. He's literally Roman emperor archetype during the Empire's most dire circumstances. He might as well be the next emperor of mankind. And that's exactly why he's sus. It's exactly why he's sus and exactly why the Lion and the Emperor don't trust him. And he can't fight worth dick. Every time Gilliman has fought one of his brothers, he's always lost. No, he did beat Magnus. That's it. But then again, you beat Magnus. Low bar.
to quote the line, now I know you're not really Magnus. Magnus never been that hard. Magnus somewhere the warp crying.
Of the Primarchs, I'd say Magnus is probably one of the weakest. He shouldn't be, but he's one of the...
Physically speaking, definitely.
Lorgar is probably the weakest overall, but...
Hard to say, because the problem is, like, now, like, with this deal, like, he had an awakening when he started going full chaos. Like, we saw him vaporize 4 librarians. But the problem is, I know out of the Primarchs, Games Workshop hates him the most. Mm-hmm. And so they are never going to give him anything good if they can avoid it.
Hey, Raven, who's better, the Space Wolves or the Black Templars? Black Templars. Black Templars are better. Hey, Raven, how do you think an Irish Outlander here would fit into For Honor? Because if we get one, we could have 2/4 of the British Isles. That'd be cool, but I think we're close enough with Highlander. I hope you have a great day, big man. I will, Quincy. I will. You forgot how... Yeah, I forgot how delusional Lion was. Delusional? In what way? Oh, because he looked at Gilliman running a fucking empire and thought that that was a possible problem? Yeah, he wasn't the only one who thought that, genius. The Emperor thought that too. Literally, the Emperor thought that too. Let me ask you a question. So the entire Imperium is going to shit. Suddenly Lion hears from Gilliman that he and Sanguinius have started Imperium Secundus, translation, the second Imperium, and his first thought is, are you trying to build the Imperium again with you as its emperor? And that's not delusion? And you're saying that's delusion. That he's thinking, no, dude, now you're coping. If you're going to actually argue with me about the Lion and the Dark Angels, bring some actually good arguments, because that right there is a weak one. Raven, thoughts on the plausibility of a Moy Baran saber shield used to represent Thailand for Honor? I dig that. What do you think about the new execution for Warmonger and Pirate? I did an executions graded video on those. I think they're good. Could the Necrons outlive the Shattered Imperium and Shattered Eldari if they chose to play the long game? Yes, but they won't. Nah, I'm no Gilliman Glazer. You sound like a Gilliman Glazer. Hey, $2 from Zureka. Saturnite Terminator armor is so intimidating. I haven't seen it yet.
You have. Remember the new Horse Heresy trailer I showed you?
Uh-huh.
That was the new armor.
Oh, yeah, okay, that was cool.
I think the shoulders are too big.
Wait, please, I'm innocent. Now you're begging for forgiveness. I'm sorry. Your only transit salvation is death.
No. You're just like, help me, brother. I've fallen and I can't get up. Fallen.
Hey, Raven, did you know that the USS New Jersey was nicknamed the Black Dragon by the Axis powers for good reason, too, as it managed to sink an island in Vietnam? Richard Blackthorne would be proud. Fair enough. Imagine driving a dump truck through your dad's home so you can warn him that how his other son might break through his back door.
Dad, of course, he's trying to kill you, son.
I'm going to kill you. Space Wolves are inferior to Black Templars. This is correct. No caps, I'm Irish. Oh, look at the Irish. Delusional for forgiving the fallen. Many of the fallen are not traitors. Samuel, if you know anything about the fallen Dark Angels, you know that the vast majority of them were not traitors. They were confused at what happened when they were fucking told, "Hey, attack the Lion, attack his ship," and they're like, "Why?" Because he's a traitor. And so they attacked the Lion not knowing what was going on, and then after Caliban blew up, they were launched through time and space and came out of it going, "Wait, what's going on? What happened?" And then they learned what happened, but now they know that they're being hunted. He's forgiving the fallen because a lot of the fallen do want to stay loyal, and he's giving them a chance to do so. You're saying it's delusional that the lion wants to offer forgiveness for the innocent? Bro, okay, you're not delusional, you're evil. Samuel, that's evil. Thank you for the $50, Aaron. Let's read this. How would you write a story about a loyalist chapter of Primarchs world leaders during the 13th Black Crusade, and because Called said, fuck it, we ball, trying to redeem their legion, get revenge on their fallen brothers, and not be deemed traitors? Advice? It's possible, but you're going to deal with a lot of backlash from that because a lot of people do not like it when when members of a traitor legion show up and say, hey, we're actually good. So the biggest problem you're going to have is the reaction of the loyalist inquisition or loyalist elements. That's going to be the big problem you face there. You think I don't know that? Of course you do. Then why did you say that he was delusional for forgiving them? Now what you're saying, Samuel, is that you know many of them are innocent, know many of them are good, but you still don't like that Lion is forgiving them. Wow. But other fallen are actually evil. Yes, there are some that are evil. And what the Lord tells us is that the Lion has private conversations with these fallen that they capture, and if he deems them to be evil, he has them continue to kill them. He will step out and tell the interrogator chaplains to continue their work. He doesn't forgive all of them. My God, Samuel. Wow. I'm also Scottish. Raven also has some Scottish. I do have some Scottish. Hey, Raven, was there ever a reason the Dark Angels were given that name? Yes, because they are the angels of death. For Blood Angels, it's obvious, but the Lion or his really doesn't seem to have even any heavenly inspiration. It's because the Dark Angels were founded to be the destroyers of the Imperium. They were founded to destroy the threats of the Imperium. Like all the dark monsters of the galaxy that no one should know about. They are the they are the literal angels of death. Evil that shouldn't be forgiven. Did you miss what I said, Samuel? Or are you just choosing not to listen? Typical of a Space Wolves fan. Typical of a Gilliman enjoyer. You don't listen to logic when it comes your way. You just talk over it because you don't like it. I said when a fallen is captured, the Lion steps in to have a private conversation with them, and if he deems them unworthy to be forgiven, he allows the interrogator chaplains to continue their work. If he deems them worthy to be risen, he then takes them with him. Why did you ignore that? Do you not like it when you get told you're wrong? My goodness, bro. My goodness. It's not original world leaders that are still loyal. This is Call has a world leader gene seed and made an entire chapter of Primarchs using the gene seed called the Hounds of Cerberus. Okay, but in that case they renamed themselves as the Hounds of Cerberus. If they came out and said, "Hey, we're world leaders," then people wouldn't like them. Hey, Step Like Brett, how you doing? How do I feel about the Lamenters? Poor things. I feel bad for them. Bro, Raven, I said I do not like Gilliman. You also say that you think that the Lion shouldn't redeem any of the fallen, so I have trouble believing anything you say, man. Like, you can say that! And you still haven't responded to my point that you are actually telling the Lion, hey, don't forgive the fallen. Any of them. Because some of them could be evil. Like I didn't just tell you that he hasn't had conversations with them. I'm in good step. Lots of stuff going on in life, of course. Some, not all fallen are evil. Okay. Samuel, we're going to repeat this again because apparently it went over your head. I'm going to try one more time and I'm going to speak very slowly. Some of the fallen are evil. When the fallen are captured by the Dark Angels, Lionel Johnson has a private conversation with that fallen. If he deems them worthy to be forgiven, he takes them with him. If he does not, he has the interrogator chaplains finish their work, which is to kill them. What are you missing? And don't think I'm trying to war with you. This is supposed to be a friendly debate. I get that it's a friendly debate, but you have missed my point 3 times. You have said 3 times, oh, but it's wrong for the Lion to forgive the fallen. And I pointed out what the Lion does, and you've ignored me 3 times. If I have to say it a 4th time, I'm just going to assume you're being willfully dismissive. I don't mind having a friendly debate. You're ignoring everything I'm saying. Do you believe Kakarodons are Night Lords or Raven Guard, or both? I believe that they are probably more likely Raven Guard. I'm new to Warhammer lore. I read a bit, and I'm starting to play Space Marine 2. Any recommendations? Caiaphas Cain series. You need to get into the Caiaphas Cain series, bro. Like Edis 2-ish, you need to get into Caiaphas Cain. That's a great way to start. It's how I started. Night Lord offers mangoes to you. Raven, eat your breakfast. If the Night Lord offers me a mango, I'm asking if it's poison. You know, I can't help but pity Angron. He had never given a chance to be a good character. Agreed. So much about Angron is very sad. He's being a silly goose. Whew. Hey, Ribbon, since we're on the topic of Warhammer, who would win in an all-out war? Warhammer 40k or Star Wars? Warhammer 40k. Star Wars doesn't have anything that can handle Warhammer 40k. This debate is starting to sound like an everyday political debate. No. An everyday political debate is two people shouting at each other. I will not shout anymore. I've said my piece. I've repeated it 4 times. Hey, Raven, my mother got a new puppy. Excellent. I've got to ask, Fem Primarchs AU curs with an actually emotional connection may actually save her ass. There's a chance. Yo, what's up, Lord Sabosa? All right, Magnus is best. Suck at Lehman, you fuck. You will be my second. Raven Knight, I'm a broken record, but win Lubu. Probably at the end of the year. Bro, are there any successor chapters that are suspected of Night Lords decent? I'm coping. I don't know any off the top of my head. Hear me out, Skaven in 40k? We already have the Tyranids. We don't need the Skaven. Raven, do you like the Blood Angels? I'm fine with them. Raven, what's your opinion on Warlord era story-wise? Various factions led by various characters. That'd be neat. I mean, I'd be okay with that. A political debate is 2 children slap fighting, and whoever wins gets to run a country. You know, you're not wrong. That's a pretty clear explanation. I know one thing for sure about this Warzone. I know that Ubisoft will showcase my Warden cosplay community section. Excellent. They will never showcase any of my stuff. Do you believe that the Emperor sent the Custodians and the Warhounds down to assist Angron instead of teleporting him and leaving the rest to die? Do you think Angron wouldn't have turned? Not as likely, but you got to keep in mind, he still had the Butcher's Nails, which is always going to be a problem for him. I have a fallen angel OC who serves the Death Watch as a Black Shield and his Watchmaster as a Dark Angel. That would be very interesting to see how that's handled. I'm also interested in this new book. Will you notify folks when the book is ready to purchase? Yes. When this book is officially published, I will let you all know where to get it and how. So Star Wars stands no chance at all. No. I mean, look, there's a lot of things Star Wars could do that would be interesting, but you've got to realize Warhammer 40k just is bringing too much shit to bear.
We may have to make a video.
That would be its own video, honestly. The Skaven and Tyranid are not equivalent. They're not the same thing, but they have the same mentality of swarm tactics. Raven, can an Alpha Legion infiltrate the Black Cobra? Probably not, because you got to keep in mind the Black Cobras have their own language, and the Alpha Legion would have to have grown up on Narahion to learn it. Also, hot take, Han is underrated. Wait, Jagatai? That's not a hot take, that's just truth. If we were to get a 40k crossover, which factions would make it in? I'd love the orcs to be enemies. That'd be hilarious. But you have such good fashion. I know. What are your predictions for the season regarding the hero skin, new hero? I think the hero skin is going to be a pirate. The new hero, I think, is going to be a rapier hero. That's my guess. This may show my lack of knowledge, but why don't they take the nails out? Because the nails cannot be removed without killing Angron. The Butcher's Nails cannot be removed without killing Angron. That's the problem. Played against you, Raven. I was the Highlander. Just want to say I love the content. You're awesome. Keep it up, brother. I played with a lot of Highlanders the other day. Was it the one I dueled or the one that was in Dominion with me? Because I played a lot of Highlanders yesterday. Raven, do you think they will expand Heath more or have other catalyst events? More catalyst events. Is there any chance of a Night Lord loyalist? Yeah, totally. I hope the devs get a really fat check from the Prince of Persia event. I hope so too. Are there any Thousand Sons loyalist chapters besides the Blood Ravens? Not that I know of. Okay, this will have people ranting. What is Warhammer 40k in a nutshell? It is the story of a future of war. Sorry, bro, was putting away the dishes. Okay. Good thing you put away the dishes. Didn't want them to stay out and get dirty. Raven, why didn't you name the chapter master of Black Cobras as Johnny Lawrence? Missed opportunity if you ask me. I don't know who Johnny Lawrence is. So does this mean we get a musketeer hero? I hope not, but probably. Well, Sanguinius removed the nails by force. Well, did he? Did he?
So who removed the nails by force?
Sanguinius.
Wait, I think he was already like a demon at that point, though. So.
Yeah, I think he was already too far gone. Anyway, for Conrad to be a loyal, he could have fixed Angron. Well, I think he survived having the nails pulled out because he was a demon powered by corn at that point.
Because they brought the Angron to the Imperial Palace, and the Emperor concluded, I can't do anything with him.
Johnny Lawrence is from Karate Kid. Oh. What do you think about the Red Angel being the power of chaos in Warhammer 40k? This is a question for my granddad. The Red Angel being the power of chaos.
Angron?
No, he's not the power of chaos.
He's powered by it.
He's powered by chaos. He's not the power of. Johnny Lawrence was the one who bullied Daniel? Why would I name the chapter master of the Black Cobras after the bully? Okay, I got a more interesting one for you, Raven. The Warhammer universe versus Super Earth and the Helldivers, because the Helldivers had the numbers to put up one hell of a fight. They have a lot of numbers. They don't have Warhammer numbers.
Yeah, again, I may have to break down the logistics of this.
Yeah, it's still not even a chance. It's not even a chance. We're at 140 viewers. Let's go. We're 60 away from the goal. Let's go. Let's go. And I also want to thank you guys real quick. So far this stream, thanks to donations alone, we have made $220. That is huge. And it means that I'm getting closer and closer to meeting my goals for this month. My goals for this month has to be a certain amount of money in order for me to break even. If we meet that goal before the month is over and we can continue to grow, I can actually make a decent profit. And if that happens, this experiment will be a success. So thank you guys so much for helping make that a reality. $220 is so awesome. Thank you so much. What are my theories for the new season? Probably going to be storm-based. It's going to have a focus on duels, and we're getting a new hero and a new hero skin. But yeah, let's keep that going, guys. Let's keep that going, because we're still not quite there yet. We've got, let me do the math real quick. Let me do the math real fast. Hold on. 300 plus 23 equals. Okay, that's 443. Almost there, guys. Hold on. 143. It's. And then subtract that. So. Okay, I'm about $400 away from breaking even. So I'm about $400 away from breaking even. We are very close. We are very close. So let's keep pushing. And to wrap it up, we're almost. I understood what you said when you said Lion has convos. I understood that, but my typing is not as fast as you're talking. Please, I understand, but he hasn't done anything as of yet. Okay, Samuel. Let's be fair for a second, okay? What you said was the Lion is delusional. I argued he is not, because when he looked at Gilliman building Imperium Secundus, his rationality was fair. He saw Imperium Secundus Gilliman's building it, and his first thought was, are you building a new Imperium on top of the old so that you can rule it? This is not just Lion who had that concern. The Emperor himself had that concern. So he's not being delusional. He's being logical. You then followed up with, but he's forgiving the fallen. I explained. He's not forgiving all the fallen. What he's doing is he's having conversations with the fallen when they're captured, and when and if they reveal to him that they are loyal and good, he forgives them and makes them one of the risen. If they do not, he allows the interrogator chaplains to kill them. He does not forgive all of them. You ignored that 3 times. I had to explain it 3 times. Now you're saying you understand that, but you're saying he hasn't done anything as of yet. That's a different argument to what was said previously. Your argument was he's delusional. Now you're saying, but he hasn't done anything. So you've goalpost shifted. So now let's address this new argument. He hasn't done anything. I agree. He has done very little in the grand scheme of things. However, what has he done? Beaten Angron? Saved the Dark Angels and Dante? Forced them off of the rock? That's not nothing. Now, I wish he'd do more, but that does not mean he's delusional. Moving on. Raven, what kind of dinos do your Guard Legion ride? Tyrannosaurus Rex, baby. Because F everything else. Virgil skin win? I don't know. I have no idea. Whew, I need to take a breath. Okay. All right, Raven, I got to ask, how large is a Warhammer 40k universe?
It's basically our galaxy, but it's literally there are untold quadrillions of Imperial citizens, and that's not including like the other Xenos races or what's the denizens of the war, which is literally space now.
Let's put it this way. Warhammer 40k cannot put a cap on how many planets are owned by the Imperium. There are too many to count. I'd be damned if Pirate gets a hero skin again. They will. Do you think Gorilla Man would have done a better job recruiting and helping Angron? No. No. What needed to happen to get Angron recruited was the Emperor had to help Angron defeat his slavers. When he saw Angron was about to go to war with his slavers, he should have said, I will help you out. That would have been the right thing to do. But he didn't. Vulcan and Sengi are honestly the only ones I respect. Kind of Robu, but he ain't done anything since taking over the Imperium. Robute Gilliman created the Primarchs gene seed and also led the Indominus Crusade. He's done a lot. He also basically saved the infrastructure of the Imperium from internal collapse.
If anything, Imperium Primus, which is like the part that still has access to the Astronomicon, is actually kind of doing better than it was pre-Rift.
Yeah, Gilliman basically saved the Imperium from itself.
He has a habit of doing that.
I may not like Gilliman very much, but I can't deny that he is a genius when it comes to logistics and infrastructure. Do you think it would be possible to make a chapter essentially full of Doomslayers? Yeah, they're called the Grey Knights.
Even more so than that, you could argue the Legion of the Damned.
Yeah, the Legion of the Damned works too.
Because literally, they pop out and they're basically like a bunch of, Ghost Riders. That's what they are.
What are these 9-inch nails you're talking about? What 9-inch nails? Would Angron be loyalist if the nails were removed? If the nails were removed and the Emperor helped him out, yes, I think he'd be very loyalist. With crazy crossovers, how do you feel the Saiyans or Friesen's empire would fare as either an invading force or part of the different factions? They're taking over because Warhammer 40k is powerful, but we're talking planet-busting races, not planet-busting machines. The Saiyans would dominate. Now, I know an ad did not just pop up when I'm watching Raven's stream. I know. Evil. It's evil. Evil. go. All right, let's check our time. Oh, we have 11 minutes. We are close, guys. It's almost time. All right, before we get started on everything, before the stream starts, I need to use the bathroom, make sure that I'm cleared up and ready to go. I'll be right back, folks. Give me just a few seconds, and then we will begin the stream.
The stream? Well, we've already started the stream.
I meant the Warhammer stream. The Warrior Den stream.
By the way.
What? Good. What's that noise?
And I'm back. Y9S, Raven's just stepping away for a second before things get crazy. Yeah.
What's that noise?
Dishwasher.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Lark's gonna take over. What are you gonna do about it?
Turn the mic around so you can hear better.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Lark stream now until the foreseeable future. You know what you can do about it? Nothing. Well, let's party. Ah, you can party with Raven too, you know. Post cringe while Raven's gone. Ah, don't worry. It's like you were raised by the cringe, but I was born into it, molded by it. With my trustworthy shotgun, I have plus got my first S rank mission in DMC. Which hell we get? Oh, cool. Okay, I'm doing all right. Just chilling out. I wonder why the Emperor chose to recruit all the traders in the way that almost guarantees them turncoats. Yeah, it kind of depends. Because sometimes I don't necessarily I don't necessarily blame the Emperor for what he did, but there's a couple of times where it's just like, you know dang well this was going to be a bad decision. And there are some like theories about like why and all that that why he did what he did, but none of it ever really adds up. So yeah. Go back into For Honor playing Pirate again. How are we? How are we, Raven?
I'm good. I'm back.
Time to destroy all of Tamriel. No, we're not destroying it. We're bending it to our will.
We will break them. We will break them. Anyway. All right. Okay, Lark, maybe you'll answer my Warhammer 40k Galaxy versus Q from Ultimaras. Who would win? I don't know what Ultimaras is.
How many? Is like all of the tomorrows? Man, that's a lot of possibilities there.
There's a lot of tomorrows involved in that.
I don't know.
Okay. I need to grab my headphones. And we're back. And now we're back from outer space. I just walked in here to find that look upon your face. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, Lauren, y'all think all three of the breach commanders could beat up a gorilla? Yes. They've got weapons. Hey, Lark, what's your next lamentation going to be about? Actually, Lark has asked me to work on a lamentation. And
Yes, I have.
and I am working on it.
Very good. Do you want me to tell him what you've been working on?
Yeah, you can tell him what I've been working on, Lark.
So, I was going to do this, but then I realized Raven's done a lot more research on this because, like, he actually did work on it in college. But I was thinking, well, like, you know, the new Harry Potter series in development and Hogwarts 2 and, like, Hogwarts Legacy or whatever it's called 2 coming out soon. We should look at Hogwarts because we're both educators. It would be good to look into and give a deep dive and go, what are the problems with Hogwarts? And there are many. So I said, hey, Raven, would you be willing to tackle that? And there are actually other subjects that are on the Lamentations list that I think Raven would be better at responding to than I would. Now, as for what I am doing next, I am simultaneously working on the UNSC and XCOM, since those were the two winners from the vote.
Hooray. Raven, how do you rank the Slayer in Warhammer? I don't know how I would do that.
He doesn't know yet.
I still question why bandits try to steal and or kill the Dragonborn. Because they're stupid.
Listen, this is the same world where, like, the bandits will see you kill and absorb a dragon soul and go, yeah, we can mug him.
What's the title of your book, Raven, or are you keeping it hush until it's released? I'm going to keep it hush for now.
Hush, hush. It's called Hush?
Yeah, it's called Hush, Lark. Hush up. All right. Whew. It seems things have slowed down a little bit because we were getting message after message and we were getting a lot of super chats, which are awesome. Thank you so much for those, by the way. So yeah, man. Whew. I'm so excited. How much time we got? We got about 6.5 minutes. 6.5 minutes. How do I think the Transformers would be treated in Warhammer? They'd be seen as AI and destroyed on sight. Ruben, I need to know your thoughts on lamellar armor. A lot of For Honor Viking enjoyers want plate armor for Vikings. I'd say fuck that, but I want lamellar armor. I just want the Vikings to have good armor. Not inaccurate armor, but good armor. Irene, what is your opinion on making For Honor characters not fit their historical region? For example, most characters from my Knight faction would be from Ethiopia instead of Europe. Well, you got to find a way to make that work. It's not impossible, but you got to find a way to make it fit within the lore of the world. You talk about 40K and the nerds will go off. Yes, I've learned that. But
hey, we're here for it.
Raven's new book is just about Lark. Not anything to do with just Lark. Only Lark. Book's called Only Lark. Yes. Hey, what's up, everyone? At what time is Warriors In starting? We have about 5 minutes, so we're going to be switching over to that in just a second. Hey, Raven, what's a horror game you maybe consider recording? Very few. I don't play a lot of horror games, and I don't have any interest in getting new ones right now. How would Godzilla do in Warhammer? Like, how many would it take to kill him? Not much, because, I mean, you've got War Titans, which are about the size of Godzilla.
Yeah, honestly, depends on which Godzilla brand we're looking for. But let's say we go with like the biggest, getting like an Imperator class Titan, that would definitely like probably do the job. And if not, bombard it from orbit.
Yeah, you know what? Just exterminatus the planet. You know?
I mean, the bigger problem is the Tyranids are going to see Godzilla and go, ooh, that's a delicious snack. Oh gosh, if the orcs find out about it, they're going to be on that planet all week partying.
Have you ever played or heard of Undertale? I've heard of Undertale. I will probably never play it.
Because, quite frankly, the fan base scares me.
Raven, what is Draconite in For Honor? It's a magical MacGuffin rock. Everybody knows MacGuffin rock. All right, let's see. How much time we got? We got about 4 minutes. Ooh, getting close, guys. War Titans will lose the battle against Godzilla. It depends on what version of Godzilla we're talking about. Like, what iteration of Godzilla are we talking about? And even if we assume the War Titans would lose, we can still exterminatus the planet. Godzilla ain't living through that. Hey, everyone, how about some bronze armor for the Vikings? Not 100% accurate to history, but the Celts had some awesome armor that would take inspiration from.
If you're going for a Celtic warrior, right?
Yeah, Celts? Yeah, that's fine. A friendly reminder that the Necrons had a point-and-click Death Star tablet. That they did. I mean this seriously, Raven. Godzilla is just too powerful. I'm going to repeat myself, Samuel. You have a problem listening to me. It depends on what version of Godzilla we are talking about. I still find it hilarious that Tao thought Titans were purely Imperium propaganda. True. I can't wait until the next Lark stream. No shade. He's just humors me crashing out about farm tools. Oh, well, Lark, you heard it. Everyone's waiting for you to stream again.
No, one person is.
The G-Dog with $50. Right, then here's some more money for the rant. For the rent, my question is slightly related to yesterday's stream. Your opinion of Django Unchained in a college class in the Wild West in Hollywood, and it was a film I watched. I'm going to break your heart. I've never seen it, but thank you for the donation. Have you played Dune: The Dark Ages? Nope, I have not. But thank you again for the $50, G-Dog. Really appreciate it. And Corwin Keltner with $10. I've not been able to catch your stream in a while. This is all I can do to help. Well, thank you, Corwin. $10 is more than helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It really means a lot. It really means a lot. So, yeah, we're doing great, guys. I'm feeling very good about all this. How much time? We got 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and do the transition over. 1 second. All right, mic is still working. Good. There we go. All right, let me pull up the chat on this end so that I can still read chat. Since Warhammer is Goku and One Punch Man put together, how about Star Wars Universe versus the Helldivers? That would be a bit more interesting, but it's still harder to call. It's still hard to call that.
I'm gonna.
110 already before the den. That must make you happy. It does make me happy. I'm glad to actually be making money through all this. This is really great. I'm glad that I got to do this stream, and I am so close to meeting the bare minimum I need to make this month. I'm very close, so I'm hoping that we can continue this push. All right, guys, here we go. It's time. Raven, you never seen Django? Missing out, good movie. I do need to see it. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Let's go with Monster vs. Godzilla. Then yeah, they'd probably be able to beat a war-class Titan. He wouldn't survive Exterminatus, though.
Or Necron Funny Button.
Or the Necron Funny Button.
Everyone likes Necron Funny Button.
Oh, Necron Funny Button. What would we do without...
That's what's going to happen. Godzilla is going to wind up in a Trazen Pokeball.
Raven, what's your opinion on the Mega Battlefront 2? I hope the comeback is good. Gotta love getting an ad on a friggin' live stream. I mean, it's the way I make money aside from donations. Donations are always appreciated, but ads also help. So now we prepare for the stream, but whenever they want, you know, like waiting on you, Ubi. Waiting on you, Ubi. Do I need to refresh? Do I need to refresh? Is that what's going on? Hold on. No? Okay. Okay. I guess we just gotta wait. Who do I think the new hero is going to be? I have no idea yet. I'm thinking a rapier hero, but I don't know yet. Do you think Necrons would just delete the universe if the Tyranids were going to win? No. Well, they don't have the capability to delete the universe entirely yet. I mean, they're still trying to get their Pariah Nexus thing running. Who is your favorite historical person, nation leader, warrior, philosopher, etc.? I have a favorite in Napoleon, so I'd be interested in what yours is. Jesus! Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, we're already a minute over. Are we refresh again? Interesting. Let me check Twitch real fast. It's up on Twitch. They've already started on Twitch. What's going on here?
Technical difficulties.
Should we just watch it on Twitch?
I mean, either way.
Let's just pull it up on Twitch then.
Oh, let's see. So they're starting in 10 minutes. So that might
Well, yeah, but no, the stream's starting in 10 minutes, but it hasn't even come up. They should be showing this on YouTube now. All right, well, hold on. Let's try to fix the volume, because I'm not getting any sound. There we go. All right, can y'all hear it? Oh, shit. Didn't mean for that. There we go. Wait. Oh, it finally came up here. That was weird. That was weird! I have been summoned! Alright, can you guys hear this and me? Can you guys hear this and me? Please let me know. Make it a bit louder? Okay, 1 second. How's that? Any better? Any better there? Hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in. All right, so we're all good. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and increase the screen. I'm excited, guys. Hannah, I must away. Wait, what's this? Are they singing a sea shanty? That's kind of crazy. My thoughts on Stephen King? He's fine. I don't read a lot of him now. This music is kind of fire. Very pirate feeling. Well, you can't hear it, so. Have I heard the Templar and Han songs by Sabaton? I like them both. I think they're both good. What faction's getting the new hero? Outlander. Have I heard of Warhammer Darktide? Yeah, I've played that. You want to know how we know that the new hero is going to be an Outlander? Because apparently the season focuses on Vortigern. And obviously the Knights are always the ones who are the bad guys who piss off the Outlanders somehow. Come on, guys. We're at 175 viewers. Let's push it. Push it. 30 more. Come on. Get me to 200 people. Come on, guys. Get your friends and family in on this. Now we're at 162. We're going down. Damn it. Tired of female characters overrepresented in this game. There are objectively more male characters in this game than... Holy shit! $500 from Nestbound! Even though I'm excited for the new Outlander hero, I'm much more interested in the upcoming Wu Lin hero. Are there any obscure Chinese weapons you think deserve to be showcased? Ah! Well, in answer to your question, yes, I could see a Chinese halberd, meteor hammer, or Xi'an sword. Those would be awesome. But I just... Ah! This is the best stream I've had in ages. Holy crap. Dude, Nestbound, the absolute unit up in here, dropping 500 on this stream. Bro, my rent is paid and then some right now. Oh my god. Bro. Oh my god. Wait, getting a new Wu Lin here? Yes, we're getting a new Wu Lin this year. At the end of the year, we're getting a new Wu Lin. I love Raven's reactions. I do have some reactions. Hannah, Nestbound takes the crown, everyone else go home.
This is now his private stream.
This is his stream. What announcements are we expecting? For this stream, we are getting a new hero skin. We're getting a new map, hopefully. We're getting, some new patch notes. I don't know what else we're getting. Yes, I'm able to pay rent. I still haven't met my month goal. In order for my channel to be profitable, I need to meet a certain goal. We haven't gotten there yet, but my God, we've gotten close. That was a huge leap forward. If my calculations are correct, actually, let me check real fast. I'll be right back. Let me just check. Okay, I am literally about $100 away from my goal, and I think we can meet that. I think we can get there. I'm literally $100 from this month's goal, so we are almost there. We are almost there. Do we know who the next Hero Fest is? No, we do not. You know how to hear this? Come here, Lark. Listen to this. I'm gonna give you my headphones. Listen to this. Listen to this music. It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good, right? I'm behind it. But bro, want to thank all of you for your donations. This means so much to me. We are so close to the goal. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? It sounds so good, man. What goal? I have to make a certain amount of money each month this summer in order to be profitable. That's kind of what this experiment is, to see if each month I can make that amount. And we are $100 away from that amount. Well, about 112, but rounded down, it's 100. Nearly 180 viewers. I need 20 more, guys! Who's the best Outlander hero? By design, kit, and lore? I'm gonna say either Pirate or Hatun. I think those are the two best. Yeah, the lyrics here are really good. This feels really good. Sounds like it's going to be a Viking-themed season. It's not. They said it was Outlander-themed. There is nothing Viking this year. This is a Viking. What? Oh no! Oh, that's so gross. That's so gross. Oh, that's so gross. Another $50 from Zender. Do you think the Samurai Wulin will get a shield hero? If so, what would they be? Wulin probably, but I can't see the Samurai getting one. Thank you for the 50 though. Appreciate it. Defiance. All right, well.
What's up, Warriors? Welcome to Year 9, Season 2, Defiance. Joined with me today, we got Mr. Nolan. How you doing, man?
Hi. I'm good that they let me play with props today, so
Yeah,
I'm very
same.
excited about that.
What we got?
Don't break it.
This guy.
Oh, who's this? Do you want to introduce us to your friend?
This is first name Light,
Well,
last
yeah.
name Perry.
So this is Light.
This is correct.
All right, I like it. He's
First name Light, last
very
name
friendly.
Perry. I like that.
That's
Meet
good.
my pet, Light Perry.
It'll be fine.
No,
We're supposed to be
like
spoiling that,
Patty?
by the way.
Light
We're
Patty!
Look at
Look
this.
at the skills. Look at the
Check
skills.
this out.
All right.
He's gonna break
Yeah, we'll
that.
quit while
Watch
we're
him break
ahead.
that.
Yeah, I think so. But no, I'm doing great. But hey, folks, listen, like, we're up here playing with toys and props and all that stuff. But before we get too much farther into this, we don't want you to miss out on a second of the show or a second of Twitch drops. So listen, you know the spiel, but Before we get into this, please make sure you have linked your Twitch account to your UbiConnect ID. That way, for every 30 minutes you're with us today, you're going to get a scavenger crate or a pirate chest. Am I right? And at the end of the show, we're going to give some lucky winners a chance to win a grand prize of either 100k steel or the new hero skin, which you just saw smoke like.
Got
appear
it.
in the
6 more
smoke
viewers.
intro.
6 more viewers to
Good
200.
job, Matt.
Guys, find 6 people to watch this stream, and I will have met my
Why don't we
goal.
take a look
6
at,
people to
little
watch
agenda
this
for
stream. You
today?
can do it.
Got, of course, the details segment. We'll be looking at the hero skin. Got our converted map. Some quality of life improvements. Testing grounds. We have a competitive circuit segment going over triple threat. Super excited for that.
All right,
Got
so
patch notes, of course.
we're going over the hero skin, a converted map, quality of life, testing grounds, going
Now,
over the
with all
tournament,
this,
and then
all
patch
this-
notes.
this
We got
fiery
this.
Goodness, I'm starting to feel a bit of the.
Turn them
sea
up?
take
Okay,
me
I'll turn
on
them up.
here. All right, Anthony, can I interest you in a pirate joke?
Sure.
All right, Anthony, let me ask you this. You scurvy cur, what is a pirate's favorite letter?
I feel like I know this. Is it R?
No, it's not R, you scurvy dog. It's C.
Okay.
Because that's where the pirate sails, all 7 of
know
them, you
what?
see.
I actually was not expecting that, so
It's a good one.
that's it. No, it's a good
If
one.
I were there, I'd tell them my
There you
better
go.
pirate jokes. I've got
Free
better
use that
pirate
code,
jokes.
kiddos.
I've got better ones.
That's free. That one's free.
$20 from Dante Redfist. Well, there goes my interest
Alright.
in this Warrior Den, but I'll
Why
stick
don't
around
we
for what's
jump
next
into this
anyways.
awesome
Here's for
new
your
video.
rent, Raven.
Sure,
Have a blessed
sure.
one. Thank you, Dante. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let's see the trailer.
The legends are true. Aye, a lost treasure be found. Time and time again. Life denied me that which was rightfully mine. I will not abide by this injustice a moment more. The all-black flag points true. The waves in me wake run red with blood. I am death on the horizon. All those who stand against me shall fall by me blade. No one will keep me from my prize.
I saw a BP execution in that, so that's exciting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in the hero skin. It's clearly Blackbeard inspired, which is fine. I know that's what everyone wanted. I didn't really want it, but you know what? I'll still talk about it. I'll still go into it. Looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks great. It's a very good design hero skin. It looks really tight. I just didn't want a Blackbeard skin. That's all. Like, I wanted them to go full on. Like, if you're gonna do this, go like a full on ghost pirate. Like, go like Scooby-Doo on my ass. Like, get us a ghost pirate or maybe a Davy Jones style thing. But it's just Blackbeard. What does Vortiger have to do with any of that? I have
Welcome
no
back,
idea.
Warriors. What an exciting
Okay,
time
can I get one of
out
those
there.
shirts that says Larry's Official Fan Club? I want one.
Joining me today, as always, got Alex, Raph, Ian.
Hey, what's up, Raph?
How we doing?
All right, I want to hear the lore, so I'm going to turn it up and I'm going to shut up.
So much better now that I have seen Light Perry the
Yeah,
parrot.
he's great.
Yeah,
Glory to our feathered host.
exactly. And shout out to Marie Christine, Kim, the VFX team, and the team in Chengdu for that, because his little hat just.
Too cute.
Anyway, if anyone equips that, please show me. I want to see.
Super cute. Why don't we take a look at our seasonal roadmap before we jump into everything?
Okay.
So in T1, we've got our new hero skin, Captain Coalheart. Got our battle pass, of course, legacy pass from year 5, season 2. We've got a free event pass. Got our converted map as well. got some armor variations, and we got some Hero Fest for Black Prior, Medjay, and Warlord. And then in TU2, we have our new hero, got a throwback event, and some Hero Fests. Yeah,
Awesome.
super exciting stuff. Yeah, definitely packed. So why don't
We
jump
made
into
it to
the narrative?
200.
You wanna say
Yay!
Absolutely. So this is a season called Defiance, in which we'll be telling a smaller scale story about a grim pirate who defies the odds and has to fight for everything he has ever owned. This smaller scale story is our way of observing and following or the the ripple effect of a very momentous event that happened a few months ago. You might remember that Gul'jin and her Hatun army of Mongols came into Yvemore. They toppled the biggest wolf in the place, the Orcos army and their leader Astria. And this as well, it has had ripple effects everywhere. So first season of the year, Ascend, what was more on we're focusing on larger scale events, what is happening after that. Here we're telling a smaller story. So this in the you can follow that the Mongols are still moving swiftly. You can see it actually on the war map. This is something new that we're putting in that you'll be following. There will be some tugs, the Mongolian war banners. They will expand or come back, retract. Well, they'll expand or come back. But so this is more of the larger scale story. Here we're trying in this smaller scale season to tell a more personal story. So it's a story of a
More
few
intimate.
people. Yeah, more intimate. It's a dual focus season. We're focusing on duels, on
Defiance.
yes,
Exactly.
defiance. And duels are really, by definition, more personal. So we have a few characters. The first one is our wonderful Black Prior Vortiger. We haven't seen in a few years. He is one of the last lieutenants of Orcos still at large, and he has an issue. He was in charge of guarding a treasure, an Orcos treasure. And with the swift arrival of the Mongols, he has had to move the treasure. And he ended up having to move it in a very unsafe place, a canyon, a new map. Ed will be coming to talk to you about that. So there is the treasure there, but with
Thank
the
you for the
treasure
Emerald
being
Lion for the
moved in
$5.
such a hurry, well, someone else has seen in this an opportunity. With Orcos toppled, you have a vacuum of power, and you have our second character, this grim, unlucky character, the pirate Coalheart, who sees in this the opportunity of a lifetime. It is his chance to finally get some luck. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are, and what we want to say in this.
Awesome.
This to you.
Thank you for breaking that down. Why don't we talk about this season's Battle Pass a little bit? It's packed with such awesome stuff.
What the
It's
hell?
looking fantastic.
That's
Just wanna
lovely.
mention something super quick. The weapon you're seeing
I like that
in the
shark.
key art is actually from the Legacy Pass. This is a small mix-up on our end, but to make it right, if you do end up buying this season's Battle Pass, you'll exceptionally receive the Medjay's weapon from the Legacy Pass when you reach Tier 37 of the current Battle Pass. So there you go.
Dude, I like the shark head. That's sick.
Alex, do you want to talk more about the season's theme and how it kind of works into the Battle Pass?
Sure, yeah. So the Battle Pass is really it's a lot of creatures from the deep, things that are coming from the
We can
abyss.
finally make a Kakaradon.
So we have all of these shark.
Whoa!
So
Yeah, as you're.
That is
plunking into the
sick.
whirlpool.
Those look sick.
awesome.
I'm not even gonna lie, those look tight.
And similarly, we've got.
The hammerhead look works for
It's
Sohei.
like the ornament here
Oh, yeah.
with this shark, this anchor, and everything is very shiny. There's a lot of treasure
Beggar's treasure. it says.
relations there.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a good execution.
Treasure
Okay.
to save
Yeah.
your life. Well, you see the shimmer of the light of the sun on the horizon, and all
Yes.
of that. Imagine
Beautiful.
picture yourself a pirate.
Exactly. These
Dude,
do
those
like
look
treasure.
sick. Look at the
They are.
shimmer.
These are blinging.
Yeah.
These are
Well, and-
beautiful,
and They all
man.
have all of those creatures. So like you're gonna see like krakens, and there's an anglerfish, and you might even see.
Okay, these are gorgeous. These are
That is-
Those
gorgeous.
look like some tentacled god.
Mm.
May have heard.
Jackdaw's
You know this well.
shanty.
This is Max's favorite. I've seen Max do this at least 10 times.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
In the office.
Yes.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
hour of the day.
I know there are going to be
If
people
you're a fan
using
of
that.
Another Ubisoft game where pirates roam, you might recognize the name as a nod to
Yeah.
this game.
100%. So do you want to talk a bit more about Captain Coalheart?
All right, let's
Absolutely.
talk. We're going to hear about
Like, just look at
Emerald.
it.
I know
How
exactly who
can
you're
you not
talking
talk
about. Don't
about
let
it?
that guy get
This
to you.
is like
He's a
we're
dick.
finally doing, a pirate's pirate. Like this is Long John Silver, look to windward, raise the sails type of thing. This is our character who's, as Raf mentioned, he's very unlucky. He's had a life of pure hardship. Everything he's had, which isn't a lot, he's ever had, it's, he had to fight tooth and nail for it. It's all, scraps from the sea, from anywhere he could roam, essentially, and which isn't a lot, but yeah,
Mostly barnacles.
mostly barnacles, yes. And the name Coalheart itself is, his past self may have been a different version. Maybe he was happier once upon a time, but he's been calcified by this bad luck, by this, he's miserable, he's angry, but he's also dangerous. He's also, he's a complex character. I mean, I love him, and the name definitely echoes how he's feeling, but also how he's perceived on the seas by others, because he does have a reputation also that comes with it, and there's a lot more to his story. You can check out the short story, which will be out. I believe tomorrow. Yeah. That's right. The captain. We're going full summer blockbuster. There's a lot of pirate action. We really want to. It's the kickoff of summer, so we really want to have fun with it. Yeah. We'll see how he, as Raf again mentioned, this new treasure. This treasure has been going through an emergence essentially, and now he's like, this is it. This is my final score. This is my last shot. It's a retirement plan.
Exactly. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There is a line in the short story that I thought was so amazing. Scroll up a little bit, Justin. It was literally, it's called, he was the cliff at the edge of the world, etched by the ocean, chipped away by the elements. I think that is so beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good line, but
He's the
one good line does not a story
and
make.
he'll do anything to survive, and he has done anything to survive.
Exactly.
So yeah, you might also see, you might recognize characters that you've seen elsewhere. Someone who has a beard, and this beard is black. This is actually an historical character, a man called Edward Teach. That
I
lived
know.
in the early 18th century, and we took inspiration from his, well, not real life events, but his real life personality and how he wanted to portray himself as some sort of devil of the sea. So a lot of the ways that he would portray himself have made it into the skin, into how it is, how it was modeled and all of that. So yeah, we wanted to both bring the summer blockbuster aspect of pirates, but also some historical inspiration into that. And we hope you'll have as much fun as we have with this character.
Did Mr. Teach have a flaming, smoking beard?
Well, he had slits in his beard just to appear devilish. It is a historical fact.
There you go.
It worked.
I'll talk about that
thank you so
later.
much for I love when you're on here because I feel like I learn something every time.
Hey. Well, put flaming things in
That's
your
it.
beard,
Yeah.
but maybe not in the office.
Well, it's an outside exit.
Also,
Yeah,
be
yeah.
careful of Perry. You don't want him to
Yeah.
catch fire.
No, Perry's safe.
Yeah.
Alex, you want to talk more a bit about the hero skin itself? Just like kind of detailing more about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you can see, it's a male pirate, so lots of work went into that with audio as well.
Yeah. A big shout out to audio. It is a male pirate. This means that a lot of the lines had to be remade, a lot of the onos, barks, everything. And he speaks a different language. He speaks Irish Gaelic. So it means that we had to rewrite the lines. We
He
had to
speaks
have them
Irish
translated,
Gaelic?
localized, and all of this is there.
Okay.
So it's a special skin, one that is very, very special in our coal hearts.
Very much so. And yeah, so his beard does have embers in it. It's smoking. He has all this glittering gold, it's covered in barnacles. And it's
Unofficially known as Captain Barnacles.
Love it. Looks so good. He's so epic.
He is.
Really
It's a good
Darker
design
than
skin.
black.
It looks well designed.
You'll get to see some more of the customization here.
Oh,
Oh,
God, the
bling.
customization is going to be awful.
Stolen bling?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, that's better. I was about to say.
Do you think like he
Yeah.
makes anything like no?
Like to picture him by himself, just making some jewelry.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the weapons also. They're
That's super
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah, I like
Looks
the way it looks.
fantastic. I get to see the breakdown here.
That brown caramel one is
Yeah,
or mustard or I don't know. I'm not sure. But
looks great.
it looks great.
We're not in the art department. How do we know about colors?
Thank you. Why don't we check about the free event pass as well? 'Cause we have that coming out from June 12th to July 3rd.
Crashing Waves free event, let's
So if you wanna
go.
crash out with your friends, you could do it in style. Why don't we take a look at some of the rewards? Got the Lone Crow's crew.
Yeah, from the name of the ship of
Mhm.
Captain Coalheart in the short story.
Awesome. Mood
A lot of
effect.
these do go along with that sense of his ship and his crew, like his flag.
Yeah.
Once again, be a pirate. Be
Yeah.
part of the gang.
Raise the flag, sail the seas.
Yes.
That's it.
Try not to hang.
As well. Awesome.
No,
why
Blackbeard
don't we
is
take a look
believed to
at
have been
the
born in
in-game
Bristol,
realization
England.
next.
So,
So you got our
yeah.
face off. Shouts out to the VFX team and the level artists team.
the
So good.
face-off background looks
looks
great.
I
That is
can't wait to
cool.
Jump into that later.
Yeah.
We made it to 200 and dropped down to 199 again.
Canyon.
Yeah.
Once again, Ed, right there.
Shout out Ed.
We'll be coming up in a
He's
few
coming.
minutes to
He'll-
talk
he's
about
coming.
it. New map. Well, aren't you excited?
That's it. And take a look at the podiums.
One thing I love very much about the maps, and Ed will be talking about it, is that it changes so much depending on the ambience. Whether you're in Valkenheim or in this case Meyer, the map looks almost completely different, and this is incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can't wait to jump into that after. We also have a Legacy Pass coming. This time it's from Year 5 Season 2.
Ah,
Recall
we're
in
bringing
Year
this
5 Season
back.
1, there was a big banquet, but it's no longer the case. Year 5 Season 2 brings a drought, and the fashion is following suit. Back then, the season was a samurai-focused season. This is back when Kyoshin was first
Oh, yeah.
introduced. The season was described as a love letter to Japanese mythology, which I thought was beautiful. But yeah, a lot of inspiration came from Japanese culture and spirituality. But a lot of keywords that were used to kind of design this season was drought, scarcity, and hallucinations. But you'll see a lot of microscopic bone patterns on some of the weapons. It's very Salvador Dali-esque.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Bit of surrealism.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Hat Club.
Oh my. And then here's the
Yes, that's
little
weapons.
sneak peek of the weapons.
I do like the bone weapons of this
Super
season.
cool. Very, it's meant to really, display the current status of Heathmore at the time, which is very dry and in intense heat.
And as you can see, they've been retrofitted so that newer
Exactly.
heroes have them too. In this
Yep.
case, Hatun.
Yeah, I guess year 5 was so long ago.
I
You
know.
know?
Yeah.
We're in year 9 now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And there's the Medjay weapon. Looks so awesome.
It does look good. That does look really good.
Alright. Moving on, we also have some armor variations.
We do. So this season we have armor variations for Vikings.
Nice.
They're part of the same set that we had started last season with the Knights, and we're just going to continue on with this faction.
Nice. Get to see some of
Yes.
how the details look.
Not
here.
bad. I like it on Yorm anyway. Yorm's looks good.
Words like
Looks clean.
coarse, that something that feels it has been worn and weathered into battle, and we've used variations on this team to name all of this with in the language appropriate to each faction. So we've done the Knights in season 1. It was in Latin. In this case, Vikings, so Icelandic. And hey, something else might be coming next season, I guess.
What?
I would assume.
Shocked.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming on and breaking this all down for us. Super exciting.
Okay.
Folks,
We'll
stick
have a
around.
conversation
We're
in a
gonna be
minute.
looking at the new
We'll talk
battle
about
map
Blackbeard
next
in a minute.
segment, But before that, we're going to be looking at the full Battle Pass gallery. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Let's see the Battle Pass gallery and then we'll talk. All right, so this is all the new Battle Pass. Let's take a look. Wardens is okay. Peacekeepers is okay. Centurions is okay. I dig the shield on gladiators. Oh my god, look at that shield for Prior. That's not bad. Okay, it's growing on me. Mongers is okay. I dig the Bardiche for Griffin. That looks nice. Love Rangers is okay, but I've seen better. Conks looks tight. Conks looks tight. I like that. I like that for Conk. Okay, so the Knights are a win. I like the Knights. I like the Knights looks. Okay? Vikings next. Ooh, nice Raider. I dig that. Ooh, I like Berserkers. Okay. Oh, Highlanders look sick. That's a good one. Shamans is okay, but it doesn't look that different from some of the others. Yorms is fine. Varangians looks good. Valkyries looks great. I think that these are all references to Jormungandr, so nice. Warlords is fine. Alright, not bad. Not bad. I like those. Where's our parrot? Aaron's probably working today. But he'll be happy to know we have a pirate-themed season. Kensei's looks good. Orochi's looks good. Shinobi's is always for me. Aramush's is always for me. They look fine, though. Hitakiri, what is that? It's so terrifying. I love it. Kyoshin's is okay. Wow. Sohei cooked. That looks good for Sohei. Nobuchi's looks good. Shugoki, what wretched thing is that? I like it. Lark back here just nodding his head in approval. Shaolin's looks good. Oh, Tiandi's looks good. I like that corroded look. That looks really sick. Looks almost like mildew. I like that. Nishi's is okay. It's fine. Oh, Zhongjun. What is that Guandao? That looks tight. I love this sort of mildewed, corroded look. It looks tight. Zhanhu looks great. Okay. Aaron is literally in the live stream. Who do you think Light Perry is? You know, given that this was pirate season, I thought pirate would get something a little cooler than that, but okay. Whoa, Medjai, what is that? It looks good. Okay, Aphira. Aphira, that's tight. I like Aphira's. Ocelot, looking good. Okay, and then Hatun. Very nice. Yeah, these are good. These are very good. These are very good. Yeah, these would be good for a Nurgle cosplay. Not even kidding. Okay, so next they're probably going to go into the Legacy Battle Pass, and we've seen that. So I'm going to take this. Let me see if they're going to do that first. If they do that, I'm going to take a minute to talk about the Blackbeard thing. Wait, no, they're going to the converted map. All right, before they go into the converted map, I'm just going to say this about the Blackbeard thing. I want to say this for the record. I don't hate the skin's look. The skin looks it's fine. It's fine. My issue is I don't like that they caved. I feel like this was a cave to audience demanding. Everyone looked at female pirate and said, ugh, female pirate. We want male. We want a Blackbeard skin. We want a Jack Sparrow skin. And I hated that whining. It was so annoying, especially since the female pirate that we got was a really cool reference to an actual... Oh,
Welcome
we're back.
I'll
talk later. I'll talk
We've
later.
got Ed here. We're going to talk about this new converted map. I'm so excited to be able to jump into this. From what
Let's see what they did to the canyon map. I want to see this. Lark, do you want to see this?
How you
All
doing
right.
today?
Great, I'm doing great. I feel like we've been teasing this map for
Yeah.
quite a little while now, ever since the Year 9 launch trailers and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, and you guys have seen it in the background there of Pirate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Super excited. Wanted to tell us more about it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, first a little bit of history on the map. So as you guys may not know this, but Canyon was one of the first maps ever designed in For Honor's development. and it was designed specifically to not be a Dominion map. You know, we were working the flow for what skirmish would play like, and it was designed around that. And of course, you never know how, you know, your game will be received upon launch and stuff like that. So obviously 9 years later, here we are, and converting it to play in the Dominion flow of the game mode.
Exciting.
So yeah. So very exciting to go back into this map like 9 years later and be like, oh, okay, how do I do this?
How do I make this work?
Yeah. So why don't we start off by showing you guys how we did this. So here you can see from the perspective of the attackers.
Whoa.
Of course, you got your 3 objectives, A, B, and C. You got your main lane down the middle, as is customary, and A and C on the sides. So a lot of adjustments had to be made for this map to flow well. Not just like putting the objectives in, but giving enough breathing room in between the run times and fighting spaces to feel adequate for Dominion.
Right.
So let's start off by looking at the main lane. Of course, we have always had this beautiful ram
Oh my gosh.
totem, and that was kind of like a landmark of the map, but it had to go to make it kind of like the tree in Viking Village. I don't know what's gonna happen here.
What a
Justice for the
change.
Ram totem. So yeah, the minions needed somewhere to fight and do their thing at the main lane, so it was one of the first things.
It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the space worked very well. And as you can see, we opened also the southern side of it. We had a staircase ramp that would connect to the objective C. So yeah, looking at capture point A, we had this kind of awesome little Viking thing, but there wasn't much going on there, so we completely revamped it here. It's turned into like this little fort.
I dig
again,
it.
this is a
I dig
Viking
it.
map,
Okay.
But we overlaid it with pirate thematics. So this is where they would like store their treasures, their loot, their bounty, all that good stuff, and where they do their pirate things there. So yeah, this was quite a revamp for the point as well, and even during
Wait, was that a
the
wanted poster on the
like,
post there? I'll need to see it
iteration
again.
of it.
I think that was a wanted
And you have
poster.
a nice line of sight towards the main lane from there. So another key point I'd like to address here is we added this drop down that gives straight access to the main lane. So 2 reasons why we did this is it makes rotations a lot more easier. You know, it feels better. You see someone who needs to heal, you right away you rotate in, and this happens a lot more quicker. And you have that line of sight on people who are coming. The other thing we did by shifting the drop to the side is that I definitely didn't want people to be able to drop attack, you know, an incoming enemy as they're coming towards the point. You know, that would suck before they even get on the point.
Yeah.
That you would be able to do that.
Mhm.
So this works really well. It does, you know, you have a very quick rotation time there, so you do take a little minuscule amount of damage. You know, it's not much,
That'll be a trade-off.
but there's that trade-off,
Yeah.
you know. So if you don't want to take that damage, take the long.
All right, let's see this. I want to see how they
Moving on
changed
to
this
capture
one.
Point C, this useless dock, which wasn't much.
Whoa!
Good for anything.
What a
So
change.
we turned that into the remnants of this shipwreck, and it looks really cool. And it even tells its own story there, as you kind of see the ship was, you know, halved in 2.
Yeah.
And for Dominion, you'll be playing on the. Was that the bow?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. Someone correct me. I think that's called a bow. But yeah, and
You're
you have
right,
this
it's the bow.
awesome, pirate emblem there on the sail. So yeah, really thematic. We went all out with sprinkling the pirate theme.
Ooh. I love the difference in foliage. That looks good. That looks very good.
The feel of the map.
Dude, they cooked. This looks
I always-
great. What do you think,
Even
Lart?
after the fact, after we've worked on
This
it
looks
for so long,
great.
looking at it in video form and just be like, I'm always astounded by the
What are
work
you playing
of
back
the
there?
art team.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on into the intro cinematics.
Oh, God.
Here we have some team that's there to loot the treasure from the.
Hey, that's
and they're
cool.
having fun
That's a
with it.
cool way to
They're
enter.
ready.
Check this out.
Yeah, they're all happy. They got the treasure. Bam. Yeah, this was some really cool work done by our animation team.
That's kind of sick. I like that.
And from the the defender side, you see their perspective. They're looking down on them, and they have the high ground, as you might say, and they're ready to attack.
Very valuable.
Yep. Yeah. So I hear. So yeah, that was a look at kind of Dominion as a whole. Again, shout out to the art.
Dude, that looks really good. Like the map looks
effects,
fantastic, guys. It
audio,
really does.
QC, of course, who without them,
Not possible.
complain as much as you want about bugs, but there'd be a lot more if they weren't around.
100%.
So I'm always on the lookout. I'm always watching streams. I'm always looking to improve the maps.
We made it to
so I
206
think here
watchers.
so this is the
Yay!
season of duels, right?
Exactly,
As might have been mentioned. So of course we had to update.
Oh,
the
it's been
map
reconverted as a dual map. Look at this.
for the better.
It's
Of
a new
course, we
arena
used,
map.
The new Dominion objective zones.
Look
And
at
so
that.
You see here, this is the main lane area in Dominion. So we turned that. Actually, this was similar to what was already in Dominion, in Duel, but without the ram totem that was mentioned before. There was a bit of stalling
Look at
to get
that.
around it. So this is a lot cleaner. This works a lot better.
This will be nice for the upcoming.
Yeah.
tournament.
Here, now we placed a dual location over. the
Oh,
captain.
that's
This is
cool.
only
Oh,
accessible in Duel.
dude, that's so
don't
neat. That's neat. That's neat. Okay, I'm sold. This is neat.
There are some ledge opportunities, but you'll have to work for them, and you'll have to mind your positioning there. So
I
always
know
enjoy
that.
doing
Oh
specific-
yes, a duel on a pirate ship. I was just saying this.
Here in Duel.
And there's water everywhere. Oh, that makes it
So
sick.
This part that was split off during some grand battle that took place on this boat.
That makes it even
And
better that you're fighting
this
in
is really
water,
good
and there's
to
sharks
do
swimming around it.
and
Yes.
roaming around.
Dude, I know this is a
That was
reworked
a
map,
really
but it
cool
feels
touch.
brand new. Don't you guys
Enjoy
think?
that.
I
We
think
also
so.
have this, you're splashing around in the water here. Stay tuned. Mathieu is going to be talking to you guys more about that. There's some really new water tech that we got in
It's an awesome
this
segment.
update as well.
It's really,
Yep.
really good.
Yeah. So moving on to Brawl.
Wait, they changed the brawl map?
So this was actually the third time we're updating Brawl in this map. This was launch.
I think that's
And-
the first map
yeah.
I've ever actually played on.
Yeah. So that was launch. Then we ended up moving it here to the closer to the cemetery section of it, and it was better, but now it's even.
Now we're just doing it in the arena. Yeah, that just makes more sense.
Now we moved it to the main lane area, and you get this real 2v2.
You focus
portion of
mainly on
map.
the combat, I guess. That's
Yeah,
the main thing.
yeah.
There's no other factors.
Something to look out though. You could see the color gradients change from when we launched there before the art. I think it was during Marching Fire that we updated, and how it looks like now in the same Ashfeld sunny location.
Yeah.
So actually, little bit of info there. The first time I changed Brawl on this map was my first appearance on Warriors
Oh.
Den.
Full circle.
About 9 years ago. 8
Wow.
years ago, I suppose.
Full circle.
So yeah, I was so nervous back then. And but yeah, I'm probably dating myself.
There's also there's like some of the flowers I think that we didn't talk about.
Oh yeah, so the VFX team did a really cool job here. This little detail of they sprinkled these flower all over the grassy fields, and as you run through them, you see them. You can see there they kind of wisp off into the air.
They're reactive.
Yeah.
Huh.
So again, the VFX had some fun on this map. The whole map really, it's one of my favorite maps that we've converted so far, and I'm really proud of the whole team for the work that they've done here.
It's great.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
This is awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and breaking
My
all that
pleasure.
down. Folks, stay tuned. We're gonna do a deep dive into some quality of life improvements next with Mathieu. You're not going to want to miss that. It's really cool.
Okay.
But first, we're going to have a look at the canyon map beauty video, where you're going to see everything, and then we're going to look at the Legacy Pass weapons after. So stick around.
Cool.
All right, let's take a look. I want to see the map. Let's see. Looks gorgeous. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, I think the Myers setup is going to be the best way to look at this because it makes it look more swampy and spooky and mildewed and wet. I think that's going to be the best way to play this. Like, Ashfeld and Valkenheim will look fine here, but this just makes it look so gross. But that's kind of what you want it to look like. You want it to look like this moldy, mildewed, barnacled, overgrown old fortress. And I dig it. This is such a good look. Dude, this looks so tight, and the music sounds so good. The term you're looking for is moist. I try to avoid that word because a lot of people don't like it. Moist. All right, they're going on to the Legacy Battle Pass. Okay, we'll take a break here just briefly. The reason I really didn't want a Blackbeard skin is because I didn't want to cater to the people who had been bitching incessantly. I thought that the addition of Chung Shi as the inspiration for Pirate was brilliant. I thought it was creative, and I liked it. But then all the people bitching and moaning, we want Pirate, we want a Blackbeard Pirate, we want a Jack Sparrow Pirate, we want a Edward Kenway Pirate. I was so sick of it. I was so tired of it. It wasn't getting us anywhere. And to me, it just feels like catering to children, catering to babies who just want things their way. Here's the thing about Blackbeard, and I said it in my Heroes in History video. If you want the full breakdown, hear it in your Heroes in History. Blackbeard, Edward Teach, is really overrated. He is one of the most overrated famous pirates in history. He had a lot of aura. He had a big presence. He was well known for his blockade of Charleston. But as a pirate, he was not that successful. He was not that long lasting. He didn't even take that many lives. In fact, Blackbeard was famous because he was so intimidating. He made himself seem so intimidating, no one wanted to fight him. So that's what made him so scary. He would light wicks in his beard to create smoke around his face to make him look like the devil of the sea or the son of the devil. But he very rarely drew blood himself. He very rarely got into combat. He was not that spectacular. There's a lot of things that I find very underwhelming about Blackbeard. Now, does this skin look good? Yes, it looks fine. It looks okay. But the idea that they caved to and here's the thing. Here's why I know that they caved. Because as they said, this is very small lore. This is very minor. It's not a grand scheme thing. While this is going on, Hatoon and Gul'jin are still invading everywhere. Horkos, as far as we know, is still broken. Astria is still locked up in the arena.
Yeah, so, like, for real, like, do you
Pause.
still have that muscle memory wherever you guard, like, you parry somebody, you try to guard break them? Because, like, I still do that.
Yeah, I've never lost that ever since release. I can't. I keep dying because of that.
It's been like 9 years now. It's kind of... Oh, hey, we're on. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. They got to let us know when the lights are on sometimes. I'm sorry.
Emerald, stick around after the stream. We'll talk about it,
joining me
okay,
on the
Emerald?
couch today to talk about some awesome
Emerald,
visual
stay
quality
till
of
after the
life and
stream, and I'll tell you about it.
Today is Matthew. Matthew, welcome back.
Hey, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. When's the last time you were with us?
I want to say like 2 years ago. I don't know. It's been quite some time. Usually when I show up, I give a little class or something. Today's no different. We'll
sweet.
be talking about some.
So we're gonna learn some stuff today.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we could unchain you from your desk so you could come and come like teach me too, and the fine people at home.
Yeah, I'm
all about
freed,
this
so
stuff.
now it's time to learn.
That's right, and I think it's actually very fortuitous here because after we just saw the map stuff, it's gonna some things I saw people in the chat noticing are some things we're gonna talk about.
Yep.
Today. So it's very cool. But before we get into that, what's first on the list?
All right. First, we're going to talk about is a lot of what we're going to be talking about is mostly some of the 3D stuff and the engine stuff that we've been adding in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have liked Agathe to be here with me because a lot of this stuff is a lot of Agathe's work.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm blessed to come and do a presentation of this stuff essentially for her and for other people in the engine team and the 3D team.
Nice.
First thing we'll cover is we've added some skin subsurface scattering, the old SSSS.
I thought it was pronounced.
Yeah.
Okay.
the idea behind the SSSS is it makes the skin act a little better in shadows. It kind of makes it so that light comes through skin a little bit, just a little bit, just to make the characters look a little less plastic.
Okay.
It's subtle, but it helps.
I see it. I see
the
it.
other
It's
thing
very
that
subtle,
we've
though.
added, would be dynamic wind stuff.
Oh!
Actually, we always had dynamic wind. The difference here is that we've enabled the artists to be able to control it a lot better. So we went in and added a lot of dynamic impulses all over the place in the gameplay.
Oh, nice.
So look out for that.
So wear capes is what I'm seeing here.
Okay, I see
Yeah, the cape
that.
stuff
That's kind of neat.
Capes benefit the most from this, for sure.
We support capes in our game. I like it, yes.
I like capes.
I like capes too.
Bad for fights, but they look great.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Next up, the in-game water. So yeah, we're using a very fancy technique here that's actually not that difficult to create, but for some reason games just don't use it very much.
Oh.
I think the first time that this got probably used was in Left 4 Dead. I think it was Valve.
Really?
Kind of. Yeah. So, based on similar ideas, we decided to do an implementation of stuff that makes it so that water can flow in interesting ways. And that's actually what I'm going to be teaching about. I'm going to show you guys how we did it, because it's actually not that complicated.
I want to hear
It's
this.
pretty
I'm
interesting
curious.
under the hood.
Masterclass, all right.
Yeah. In fact, we can kind of throw ourselves in there right now. But, however, I do have a shout out to do to the Miiverse Wii U old guy who used to post a lot on Miiverse about nice water in games.
Yeah.
He had a gimmick going on. I respected it a whole lot.
You-
It's for that guy.
You were inspired by that guy. Like, you want him to say nice water in our game now.
Yeah, in my heart he's doing it, but I don't know if he is today.
I think he's watching today.
I would hope so.
I bet he's watching.
So, yeah, before we actually get too deep into it, I need to cover a few bases that I believe Anna already has done and the Warriors done before.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about UVs, but I'm doing it pretty quickly because, we've already covered this and it can get kind of boring. But I'm mostly focusing on how we animate water, so we're not going to worry too much about the technicalities and just talk about what it is. So what you need to know about UVs is that a model made out of points, vertices, has, coordinates, kind of like a GPS, where it knows in the world where they are. But it also has coordinates to know where it goes on the texture.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of counterintuitive because usually people would think, well, the texture knows where to go in the model, but it's actually the other way around. The model knows where to go in the texture.
Okay.
So each vertice knows where it is in the world, and it knows where it is on the texture that belongs to it simultaneously. This can be pretty useful. Well, let's just slap some water on the plane here and talk about what manipulations of that kind of looks like. Because if your information of texture space and world space is in the vertices, then you can manipulate both at the same time without having to touch the textures.
Okay.
So let's slap a water texture on our plane here, and let's animate it.
Okay. That looks pretty good.
Nice water, right?
Nice water.
It's a good
Okay.
start.
Yeah.
To start.
So let's look at what that looks like when we actually have the UVs there. See, this is texture space vertices over there. And at the top here is the, world space vertices. They're not moving, but the texture space one is. And this kind of what happens when you're looping water around. You're just moving the verts and then teleporting it back. And, you got your moving water. The water texture is not moving. It's the verts that are moving. the
Okay.
vertices.
I'm following.
Next. So here what we're going to do is that we're going to modify the world vertices coordinates and also the vertex in the texture space coordinates. So we're modifying both at the same time. So the result is kind of weird, You
Yeah.
can see that they're both shifted. So the water's still straight because you're shifting in both. And, this looks like silly water.
A little silly, yeah.
We could do
silly
better
water.
than that.
Yeah.
So
I'm following.
let's move the vertices in world space, but not texture space.
Okay.
Now, you get some stretching and stuff, but that's kind of wanted because when you start animating this, whoa, look at this, the water is following around
interesting.
Because the model's still straight in texture space. Now here is, in fact, we're modifying texture space, but we're not modifying world space, right? We're just trying to get an idea of like what's doing what when you're manipulating both at the same time.
Okay.
So, obviously your plane's not changing, but you can see the water is kind of deforming because the points that are on your polygons in the texture are moving on the polygons that are in the world, so the texture gets all creepy.
Nice.
Next up, here we're modifying both at the same time. We're kind of putting this all together here.
Okay.
Modifying both the world space and texture space. Now we're going to lock the texture space as it is now, and we're going to bring it back in world space without touching texture space.
Okay. Oh. Oh, what is
There you
this?
go.
What is this magic here?
Whoa.
That looks pretty
good. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay.
However, you'll notice that there are issues with this.
Mm-hmm.
We can see here that, yeah, this is the same thing, but the resolution of the deformation of the water is poor. Because we don't have a lot of polygons here, and we're only using polygons. Wait up, Max. You're going a little quick. You only got a few polygons on our plane, and you don't have enough polygons to actually have the water be pretty smooth. There's a lot of limitations with that. All right, next. I built a fountain here that shows the limitations here.
Okay.
See, the water is all like crunchy and doesn't know where to go in certain places.
Right.
Like just using the polygons to tell where the water should go and how it should flow is limiting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great. It can work for a single stream, but as soon as your water needs to move in complicated ways, it fails. So where do you get extra information to tell it how to move if the polygons clearly isn't enough? Well, there's stuff that we have like per square inch that has information, and that's in the texture. So maybe we can, wait, Max.
Stop doing that, Max.
Maybe we can store texture information that says in what direction we want the water to move.
Okay.
All right, let's go. And we're going to do that using flow maps.
All right.
What we see here, that's a vector map. It's a flow map.
Okay.
Same thing in our case, right?
Yeah.
This is what a vector map looks like. I got another example of what a vector map is. Yeah, vector maps, right? They're kind of just like a texture of directions.
Okay.
Instead of being a color, it's a direction. Next example.
It's our boy Griff again.
Oh God, what's going on here? He's getting flow mapped.
Oh, he's getting flow mapped.
Oh, the vectors.
I see how it
take that,
works.
Max.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right,
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
All right.
Now here's a fun tool. Comes from a tech artist that's at Riot right now, but it's kind of his little freeware artist thing that is great for demoing this stuff. We don't actually use it, but I love using it to show people how this stuff
Explain
works.
it, yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of just like brushing the vectors right now. It's kind of like hair, and you kind of brush it, and you can have the water move in the direction you want. This is kind of what we want to do with the water.
That's so cool.
So let's talk a bit about what a flow map even looks like.
Okay.
So let's load up essentially a texture, right?
Okay.
Look at this. That's a spreadsheet, exactly, right?
Oh, okay.
You go in Excel, and that's what you get.
Oh, okay.
The only difference is
I know
that,
spreadsheets. I'm good with these. Yeah.
yeah, great. See,
Yeah.
see, like essentially the colors are just numbers.
Oh,
Right.
They're 3 numbers. It's a spreadsheet with numbers in them.
Yeah.
So if we take a texture and we apply it on objects, well, then you get essentially a spreadsheet of numbers, and you can use those numbers to tell what direction to go. So let's try it on our friend Griffin here, right? Let's put a texture on him, and each texture says, well, each color says what direction we want to move the pixels on him.
Okay.
All right? So let's give it a roll.
Whoa.
That doesn't look great.
I mean,
However, obviously the biggest problem we got here is that he stretches forever, and after like a minute, you won't even know what you're looking at,
yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
It's not going to be useful for water. But there's a trick we can do, right?
Okay.
Okay.
What if we take a second layer and we blend in while the first one is stretching, we blend back to an earlier state and stretch the new one, and just have 2 layers kind of always stretching like that, right?
I feel like Griffin's going on a trip right now, dude. Not gonna lie.
It doesn't look great for Griffin,
Yeah.
but for an amorphous surface like water,
Yeah.
it works if you
Okay.
go quickly enough,
Mhm.
So let's try it.
Okay.
So here's again the fun little tool where we're gonna kind of like brush the water, and here's the texture coordinates for my little fountain that I did, right?
Okay.
I'm kind of like doing the little brushing on the water so that we get like this fun little flow going on. See, you have the hairs there. This is just directions. They're arrows, This doesn't work that well in what I'm doing, but I went back in the tool and actually did it the right way. We're going to see the final results here. That's our flow map.
Okay.
Red is left to right. Green is up to down.
Okay.
Half red and half green means it doesn't move. And essentially this says what direction you want the texture to scroll in and fade out and pop back in, right? So next, we're going to see this is what the texture looks like on the fountain.
Oh, wow.
And now we're going to slap the texture on there and tell it, use this as a flow map.
What?
Dude!
Basically the same texture. The only difference here is that I added a little bit of specular on it so you can see the flow better. But this took like 10 minutes, you know?
Are you for real?
The technology is not that complicated. Just people don't use it for some reason. I'm going to use it. It looks great. I don't know.
I feel like this would take me like 10 weeks to do, man. Like,
Right. You know, it's
I'm so glad you're doing
that's so
this.
good.
It's not on me. So.
it's not complicated what's going on here, and it didn't take me a lot of time, but you see some issues, but let's not worry too much about that right now. Here's a fun thing about the flow map being a texture with colors, though.
Okay.
Wait a sec. Don't go to the next one. Since the flow map is a texture, well, you know, video games are really good at blending textures. You know, you get cut, there's blood on the ground, you got like a blood splat on the ground, and it's on top, and it's blended with the floor.
Sure.
What if you did that with the flow map? You put like a thing, and it says, this is how I want the flow map to move, with a particle, with a plane or something, right? All right, let's go. So here's a plane, and I'm going to tell it, like, draw on the flow map, instead of just drawing visually there. Now, it only shows up in the flow map. That changes what the flow's doing, because we're just using the colors to tell the direction you go.
All right.
So if you snap, I don't know, a rock on that, then you end up with being able to like edit your.
Oh
flow
my
in
gosh,
real
that's
time
cool.
with basically no effort.
Dude.
That's
Pretty
so
cool, right?
neat.
Wow. So that's what we ended up doing with the footsteps of the heroes.
Dude, this is fascinating.
We are, yeah, we can see here. It's just like, yeah, it's just a square, but it looks. The final result looks pretty decent for the amount of time this took. So we ended up doing that with the footsteps of the hero and the actual water that we use in the map. You can see here, like, you're running around, like, it's a little subtle. I didn't want to go too far in it, but you can kind of see the flow go, like, bloop, 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 and kind of start flowing again. Whenever he steps in there.
Yeah,
I love Cole Hart just sprinting back and forth. He's like, let me demonstrate.
Yeah, all to say, the final result is, I think Max has a capture of what the full water looks like in the actual map. Did we end it up? Oh, yeah, that was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did with the water.
Cool.
We're probably going to use some more in the future.
Yeah.
Whenever we have places where water can flow and is limited in space and stuff, we're going to start kind of poking around, see where it makes sense to use this stuff.
Wow.
That's so neat.
Holy cow. Maggie, that's incredible. Like, I
was not
I'm
expecting to
blown
learn
I can't take full credit
that
for it.
kind
I
of
mean,
thing
a lot
today.
Of the shader stuff was I got essentially, right?
Well-
I did some of the data. We spoke about doing it, and it actually didn't take that long. So, hey, you know, more games should do it.
I love that.
Making a game, why don't you use it?
I love that. Just humble brag. Yeah, it didn't take too long, but I mean, it looks great. And I huge shout out. Thank you so much also for this. And again, like it's great because even like I said, when we were showing off the map, players were already kind of like cluing in on it right or very early. That like, wow, that water looks really good, and like they could tell something about it. And this is what it's about. So
That was so
amazing stuff.
cool.
Well, Matt,
That
thank
was
you
so
so much again
cool.
for sharing. Thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure.
It's always amazing to learn. All
For Year 9 Season 2, water. It's an Avatar season.
Warriors, stick around.
For Honor,
We are
Season
gonna
1,
show off,
water.
The armor variations.
That's
for the
awesome,
entire
guys.
update,
Oh my
and coming up
gosh.
Next, we have a
That was
testing ground
neat.
session
I'm glad
for
we did
Not
that.
Minutes, so we'll see you soon. You're
I
up.
know that a lot of people don't care for those segments, but I think they're awesome. I love them. Okay, armor time. Let's see. Raider looks fine, but I mean, kind of what I'd expect. Warlord looks base. That is a good-looking Warlord. Valkyrie, show me your face. Berserk. All right, Berserk's trying to be Havoc. He's trying to go bald in the beard. Okay. You'll never be Havoc, Berserker. You'll never be Havoc, but keep trying. Also, put on some damn shoes. Unless he's going to go play on the water. If you're going to go play on the water, I understand. I hate wet socks. Yorm again looks tight. I like Yorm's look. It's a very clean look. Yay! More of the Daryl. More of the Daryl Highlander. I like that. Shaman, your hair could look a lot better, sweetie. Just saying. Varangian looks tight. Varangian looks tight. I like that look. That's a good Varangian look. All right, they were fine. They were fine. All right. So back to the Blackbeard thing. I just don't like that they decided to, and I'll probably just rehash this over and over again. I don't like that they caved. That's the thing. Because this whole season, as they said, is a minor thing. It's not a big world event. It's very minuscule. And so I almost feel like this was just them saying, fine, we'll add a male Caribbean pirate because you guys keep asking for it. But we're not going to make it a big world-changing thing because they don't know how to make it a big world-changing thing. It's just a pirate showing up and pissing off Vortigern. And the story, I need to read the short story myself, but the story sounds really shit. Like, if I'm being honest, he's a Caribbean pirate who has really tough luck, but he finds out that Vortigern's guarding a treasure, and this is his big chance to steal this money, and I don't know, dude. Like, here's the problem. Last season, you set up that Gul'jin and the Hatoons were invading, making big steps, making big strides. Astria and, you know, Calliope are up. We're back. Hey, it's our Lord and Savior, JC.
Look who joined me.
All hail, JC.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I've been crowned king now, apparently.
Have you? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that's amazing. But it took a while for me to get on because the summoning ritual requires chat to, like, constantly ask for me, and so it took a little bit longer.
I feel like they weren't quite as ravenous at the beginning.
Yeah,
I started seeing them coming online, but
it's the summoning ritual, man. Like, you gotta, you know,
gotta build up to it.
And the other thing, I have to address my ultimate hater in chat, which I don't have any oil, so unfortunately I can't oil up for you. But that'll be what it is. I mean, you know,
Chad.
We'll talk about testing grounds instead.
Chad. Why?
Because of course.
Oh man, you know what?
Hey, $5 from Zender. Have you watched the show Vikings and So? Would you like
a
a skin inspired by one of the characters?
JC, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Today.
I mean, that'd be fine with me. But thank you for the
$5.
$5. Appreciate it.
I will be honest. I am super stoked for this one. This is like one I've been looking forward to for a long time.
All right, it's testing grounds time, guys. Let's hear what he has to say.
We dive right into it. Can you tell us what we're looking at?
Yes. So as this beautiful slide says,
defensive dodge changes.
So you remember last time when I was talking about how the next testing grounds wasn't going to be feats?
Yeah. This ain't feats.
It doesn't mean that we're abandoning feats right away. It's just that we want to make sure that we can collate a bit more together so that we have like more feats to do in the same testing grounds. It's always a bit more complex to do feats. So we're trying to do like a more of a system testing grounds this time to address two major things, right? One of them is viability and defense at top level. It does affect lower level players as well, but it's really a fix that I know a player that seemingly retired but was asking me quite often the last time we saw him. And also something to give a bit more identity to assassins.
Nice.
So here we go.
Right.
Part one is I'll just read the slide and I'll explain the implications here, right? So all non-assassin heroes now have block active from 100 to 300 ms while dodging, and the block is active in the direction of the dodge.
Really?
So what does this mean, right? At super high level, there's a tendency for players to have a very specific situation happen where one player throws a bash and another throws a neutral undodgeable at basically the same time. And when this happens, undodgeable, but you must dodge. So what happens? You get hit by something every single time. And so when we removed a block on dodge a while ago, we removed it because undodgeables, we had some issues with them. We were forced to always make them top, and then it always feels a little bit weird. So if we want to have, like, you know, undodgeable on only one side, for example, we couldn't.
Interesting. Hey, Professor POV,
so
how you
it
doing?
opened up the design space, but also created this issue. So this is an attempt to help resolve this issue. So you have a block.
I see what they're doing.
At the same timing as deflect. It doesn't mean that you're deflecting, and it's still not as effective as it was before we did the nerf, where the block was active for the entire duration. So that's one thing there. Also, this is forcing the block in the direction of the dodge. So if you're dodging front, it'll always block top. If you're dodging to the right, to the left, it'll always block.
Okay, so what they're doing, for those who don't understand, I'll try to explain. They're making it so that you cannot do this. There's this kind of gank guarantee where if one player
this will
does a
let you
bash
dodge
that you
into
have to
undodgeables
dodge
if
and the
you
other
can
player
do
throws
it
an
like that.
undodgeable attack,
Because
you have a
can,
choice.
like,
You either
side-
eat the
can
bash
kinda
or you
block it.
dodge and eat the
So that's the
undodgeable.
idea here, right?
They're
So it's
changing
to
it
help
so you can
that
dodge
very, very
and
specific
block
situation.
briefly
We
so
did
that
not
you
want
can
to have the
at
block of the
least
entire dodge
avoid
that
safely.
created
They're
other
getting
issues,
they're creating a
but
counter
having
gank
it
to
as
that
deflect
gank
time here
guarantee. So
really
I like
helps
that.
for those heroes, and it should give a bit more survivability when you're outnumbered and you're facing players that are able to kind of time themselves really well at throwing an attack that must be dodged and an attack that cannot be dodged at about the same time.
Gotcha.
Right? So that's the big idea here. So I'll be curious to hear specifically from pros here, but also from everybody.
Later,
But
Van
really, I know,
Kuykendall.
Normie specifically, I remember the last time we were in the studio, he was asking me about this like on a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah, I think this is a good change. I
not
like
necessarily
this.
for Normie, but it's for all the players that
This
I
is
know
a
are
good
having issues
change.
with this.
But Normie should appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah. Gotcha.
And then next up for Assassin.
Okay.
So now all Assassin heroes have deflect active in all three stances while dodging forward. So you might remember
Okay.
the Peacekeeper testing rounds we did a little bit like earlier.
Okay, what?
And so what we had is her third feat had deflect active on all three stances, whether she was dodging front, left, or right. That was a bit too strong, specifically for the side dodges. It's it basically lets you nullify a bunch of mix-ups completely.
Yeah.
We didn't really want that. There was always ways for the attacker to do something, but it was a bit too complicated, and it kind of forced us to play like a wildly different way, and it wasn't super well received. So we're like, okay, cool. But on the front part, it made a lot of sense.
Right.
And we've had Cthulhu
This
release
this
that has a similar-ish thing, but it's active.
I
for the
think it
entire
makes
game.
them too
Run.
safe now. That's the problem.
So, but it feels good to have like those kind of cool deflect moments.
Yeah.
So now in this testing grounds, every single assassin in the game, and that includes Shaolin because Shaolin is a hybrid assassin
Yeah.
that had reflex guard beforehand. So it still it applies. He has deflects, so it applies to this. If you front dodge, you are able to deflect in any direction. So that's kind of cool because then it gives you an opportunity to go, you know what? I'm facing, I don't know, like a Yorm, right? And I know that they're going to do an undodgeable light finisher. And maybe I don't have the reactions, or maybe there's too much input lag, or maybe it's an off day or something. And I'm like, I know the undodgeable is coming. Like, I can read it. I can read the person's mind. I can read his mind. Right? But I still won't be able to block.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Nice.
You front dodge into it. You don't have you don't have iframes. There's none of these things that are happening while you're front dodging. So it lets you do really, really cool things about nullifying some of your opponent's offense in this way. But it's a super hard read because if you front dodge and he didn't throw an undodgeable light, or he didn't throw what you were expecting, Heavy's going to hit you. A bunch of things are able to hit you. So it's a big, big read that can lead to super cool moments. And speaking of those moments,
Yes.
we have a couple of videos that kind of showcase what you can do with this, which is like kind of side effects of it, but are super interesting. So Max, if you want to start playing it. So this is what we were talking about with the dodging in the block direction.
Okay.
The blocking the dodge direction, right? So you see Warden there, like always kind of switches his stance to left, right, or top whenever he dodges. So that's a good one. And then now this is what's more interesting, right? So the Shinobi here is dodging front into Zanhu's zone attack, and boop! You deflected it. So again, that's one thing that's really interesting. That's like that's the basic case of I'm front dodging into an undodgeable.
Yeah.
But what else can this tech do for assassins? You can have an opponent throw an attack at you while you are locked onto somebody else, front dodge, and deflect their attack, right? Creates super hype moments. Like, this is amazing. It feels so good to pull off in game.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. And the other thing it can do as well, which was like a big part of our intention here, is it makes assassins really, really, really dangerous when they're when they're not locked onto, right? So this JJ right now, for example, is throwing a left side heavy, but the Orochi here is able to dodge into it because the deflect is active on all three stances, is able to deflect that heavy.
That's awful.
And punish the Jangjun for what they're doing. So it gives assassins a lot more things they can do in group fights when they're outnumbered, when they're outnumbering people. It enhances their identity as deflect masters. So this is what we're going on with this. Hopefully, people are gonna like it. Give us all of your comments, everything you want to.
The
talk about
first
there.
change is
But
good.
it's
The
super
second
interesting.
one I'm
I
not a
really
fan of.
love
It's going to make
how
assassins even
dynamic
more
assassins
oppressive,
feel with this.
and it make.
also
Here's the
on the
thing:
non-assassin
if
side,
your enemies are all
that
assassins, you're
extra bit of
fucked.
defense can mean life or death in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
At the same time, we're putting this into a testing grounds, and so you might be wondering, like, why these seem to be maybe you're like, these are like obvious changes to do.
Right.
Maybe they're not. We want to make sure that this is done in a way that it will actually solve the issues that players have with the non-assassin heroes. And then on top of it, for the assassin heroes, we also want to make sure that it doesn't feel overly oppressive. There's a bit of worry that we have, and it's okay as game designers that we have that we're thinking about it. We're like, you know what? Maybe this is going to be too annoying. Maybe this is going to be too strong. That's why we're
Yes,
putting it in a
that's
testing
the
ground. We
exact
wanna
thought
get
you
as
should
much
have,
feedback as we
JC.
can from
That
our
thought you
players.
have is right on the
Able to go,
money.
you know what?
It's
This is cool.
exactly the
Let's
right
go in and-
thought.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I would
So
not
really,
go forward
that's
with
what it
this.
is for the testing grounds. What's cool here too is that there's a change on every single hero.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're an assassin, you get that full deflect when you front dodge. If you're not an assassin, you get the deflect frames when you're dodging. So it's a lot, like it's a really packed testing grounds with a lot of stuff available on every single hero. That is great. Please go in, test it out, try it out, give us your feedback.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to be on Reddit too much again to read how much people love it.
I know we can't stop you. You're
I
gonna
can't-
be
you
there.
can't stop
so
me.
It's fine. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, JC, thank you so much for sharing that.
Welcome.
Again, I'm super stoked
Okay.
about this. I know
Since
we
they're wrapping
played
it up, I'll
it
share my thoughts.
internally,
That first
tested
change
quite a
where
bit,
you
so
can
I'm
block on a
really
dodge,
looking
I like
forward
that.
to it.
That's
So
good.
we
That
hope
helps, and I
folks
think
that
it makes
you out
perfect
there
sense to
also
add
look
that.
forward to it.
The
Reminder
problem
that
with the
this,
second part
this
with
testing grounds will
the
be live
assassin,
starting next
what they're
week on
basically
June
doing is they're
19th
saying
and
every
June
assassin
26th. So
can now
don't
dodge
miss out.
forward into an
Again,
attack
jump
from
in,
any
play with
direction
any
and
hero.
still
Everybody has
deflect
a
it.
change, and
I
don't
don't
forget
like
to
that,
leave us
especially if
feedback.
it's on
There'll
an
be a survey at the
external
end,
like
as
they
we
showed with that
normally do.
Orochi.
So
It's gonna
just
feel
eye on
good.
our
Like
socials for
I
that.
understand why they thought it
So
felt
thank you
good
very
because in that
much.
Nusha clip,
Next up,
she was getting
JC,
attacked from
you're
the
not going far
side,
because
and she was able to
I'm saying
deflect that
I've
side
been summoned,
attack
so now I get
and
it.
target
That's
swap.
right.
That's the
That's
problem.
good.
But the
Well,
issue that I have is
It's
in
good. Well, see,
imagine you're playing that
you've got him,
Jongjun.
you see
What
what's
attack
now.
can you
But
do?
we're gonna be
All
talking
Orochi
about
has
the
to do now is just go
competitive
wait,
circuit, so
wait.
it
Oh,
should
he's
be a
throwing an
lot of
attack,
fun.
dodge
So,
forward, and now
folks, don't
deflected
go
him.
anywhere. We'll
There
be
is
right
no
back.
risk. There's no difficulty. It is now just I can easily punish you for throwing an attack. It will make assassins like Shinobi, Orochi, Gladiator, all of them way too oppressive. It'll make deflects way too easy to pull off. Hatun is unique because she has that dash forward into deflect, and I know a lot of people hate that. I do get that, but she's the only character who has that, so I'm willing to give a little bit of leeway on that. Plus, it's not a really strong punish, especially against hyper armor users. But now imagine Orochi having this, who can break hyper armor with their deflects. It's gonna be hell on earth. So the only way I would allow this is if they decrease the damage a deflect can do, or remove Orochi's ability to break hyper armor. Like, you're gonna need to change more about a deflect to make this viable. So what I would say is keep that first change you added, remove that second change. That second change is not a good idea. That is my stance on that. All right, let's hear this. I'm ready for this part.
I'm here now. You
You took
didn't-
my seat. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like it here.
Okay, good. Good. At least you brought Light Perry back.
That's it. Light Perry is here to stay as well.
It's the best light parry I've ever seen.
Yeah, Professor POV, exactly. I see red, I dodge forward and side dodge a Shinobi. Like it's.
But yeah,
it's-
we're here
it's
to
hell.
talk about some triple threat stuff. This is our upcoming.
Oh, it's triple. Oh, they're talking about the triple threat.
Sign-ups are open.
Do you mind if I yap a little bit while they do this? Because I have no real dog in this fight. I have no real thought on the
Sign
triple
up,
threat.
find some
Do
buddies,
y'all mind if I yap?
sign up,
Let me know in the chat.
I'll
even
just wanted
post
to
a
do
poll,
An important
just to make
reminder:
sure.
if you saw our monthly roadmap, you'll notice that the dates of the entire circuit basically moved up. Not the entire circuit, sorry. The 4v4 tournament just moved up a week. So the qualifier 1 and 2 are now June 21st and 22nd. So you'll be able to see the schedule here. But if you saw the roadmap, you're up to date. That's the main thing. So all good. Find some buddies.
Nice.
And sign up. So yeah,
Go sign up, go play.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
This has to be the biggest tournament we've ever done.
Please, it'll make me happy.
That's right.
That's it.
We all want to make you happy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
You know what,
It'll
JC?
make Light Perry happy.
I-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He's not talking, but he appreciates it.
There we go.
That's good.
Love it, Max. But yeah, the circuit follows a pretty similar format to our last circuit, but we added circuit points this time around to really see who truly is the best player. So it's going to be exciting.
It isn't me, unfortunately. But
It's always
They won't let you compete. I
Oh,
think
that's-
that's what
that's
it
the
is.
problem,
It's be too powerful. Be
it.
too powerful.
got too much aura.
yeah, that's a problem.
That's it.
You gotta live with it.
Man.
That's it. But I wanted to kind of ask both of you kind of what your expectations were going into this year's circuit. You know, the amount of heroes that can be played at such a high level is so diverse. So I wanted to know like what you guys thought.
Yeah. So well, it's really
Okay,
interesting
I'm-
this year because
I'm gonna go-
there's
I'm gonna
two
yap,
on my
I'm gonna yap.
thesis, that won the last
I'll
Olympic
yeah.
tournament,
Okay, so
and Clutch my.
I just don't have a dog in this fight
it
about the
really
tournament. If you
shook
guys
up,
care about the tournament, you can go watch
teams,
the
and it
original
opened
stream
up
and
a
come
lot of
back.
competitive,
I don't mind.
community.
But I just
So,
want
like,
to talk
it-
a little
it
bit
makes it
because
all-
there's
there's
a
a lot
lot
more room
that
for people to
I
win.
want to say.
And
So
it's-
let's
I
start
think
with
it's
the testing ground
super
changes.
interesting.
This is why it's a testing ground, guys. Don't
there's a
panic.
few big teams
I like
that
that first
we know to
change,
watch out
not
for
the
a little
second
bit.
change, but go to the
There's
testing
Goblin
grounds,
Gang
play it,
in-
let
in
them know what you
two.
think. That's the best way to
Doesn't
do this.
mean
Okay,
that
that's
we
the best
can't
way to
have
do this.
upsets. It doesn't mean
Um,
that other players can come in and
That's
surprise
the first thing
everybody.
I'll say.
That
Now let's go back to the
happens all
pirate thing.
time,
Okay,
and
I want to
is
make this
why
clear because I think some people are misunderstanding. I don't mind
so
that they
by
gave us a
Goblin-
pirate
like
skin.
Goblin
I know
Gang
it's
a bit on
annoying
the
because
stream,
I'd like
so
a different hero to get a
Goblin Gang
skin,
is
but I
Antonio,
don't mind that they gave us a
Living,
pirate skin.
Lemon,
What
and
I
Jarl.
do mind is
It's
I
Lemon's
don't
first
think
tournament,
they
by the way.
gave this
And he's
skin the
considered
attention it
apparently to be one of the
deserves.
best players
I
in the game so
really
far,
feel
so
like this
he's
Blackbeard
super
inspired
promising.
skin
Jarl
was
won,
made out of
before he started last
obligation
year,
to
so
the
again,
community,
really, really
not
promising
out of
for
love
this
for the
year's
game.
thing.
Let me explain what I mean by that, okay? Let me actually explain what I mean by that. What they did was, and let me actually, I'm going to turn this down just a little. I'll tune it back up when they're done. My issue is this. The lore behind this character's introduction is really weak. Last season, we got this big announcement. Gul'jin has taken over. The Hatun are invading. Astria is still alive, but enslaved and locked in an arena with Calliope, having to fight for their lives and fight for their freedom. That's cool. That's world building. That's really neat. Now we've got this very minor story of a pirate showing up who wants to steal treasure from Vortigern. That's not world changing. That's not map altering. That's not status quo shifting. It's really nothing. Hopefully when the new hero arrives, that'll change. But right now, the lore around this skin, I need to read it. But what it looks like right now is it looks like a great big nothing burger. So what that tells me is they didn't have any real idea in terms of the lore behind this decision. Only, look, everyone wants a Blackbeard pirate skin. Everyone wants their male pirate. So let's just give it to them. Should we make good lore around it? Nah, we're not going to do that. This is why I think it would have been really cool if you made it like a... You know what? Just do what they did with Sun Wukong. Make it like a Davy Jones skin. Make him have like tentacles for a beard, or you could make him a skeleton pirate or something like that. I know it's going to be fantastical, but at least then you could have this world-changing setup. You could have like the seas rising, the oceans churning. Maybe there's some kind of big thing coming. Like you could do a lot with this, and I know it'd be fantasy and some people would bitch, but at the same time, the whole reason they made this skin was to respond to the bitching. And that annoys me because Blackbeard, you can't talk about Blackbeard the same way you talk about Cheng-Shi. And I really do feel like this is a very sad situation because I know there are going to be a lot of people now who go, yay, I got my male pirate. Yay, I got my Blackbeard. Yay, I got my Caribbean dude. Congrats. I'm glad you got what you wanted. Genuinely, I am. But I don't like the idea of catering to people just because they begged for something and got it. This is a policy of mine. You should not reward tantrums. You should not look at a child pitching a fit and say, okay, I'll give you what you asked for. No, you tell that child to go sit in the corner. Don't say, okay, we'll give it to you. Look, if you wanted to add this Blackbeard pirate skin, what you needed to do was give it really good lore. Make this guy fascinating. Give him a really in-depth reason why he's come here. Why is he the only sort of Caribbean-style pirate we've seen? Why is he different from Bo Yin and all the other Cantonese pirates? Where did he come from? You said that he speaks Irish. Interesting, because Blackbeard was English. But fine. You say that he's Irish Gaelic. Okay, why is he here? What brought him here? How did he know there was treasure here? Has he just been hanging out for a while? Again, when I read his story, I may get answers to some of these questions. But just based on what we heard, this was really shit. The lore behind him is shit. His presence here is shit. He's only here. That's why my theory is his only reason for being here is because people complained, wanted a male pirate skin, wanted their Caribbean pirate, and they just said, okay, we'll give it to you. And to me, it's not that that's lazy, because they clearly put effort into the skin. It looks good. It looks generic. It looks like your typical Caribbean pirate skin, and that's what people wanted. So, hey, it looks good for that. But at the same time, I'm like, you didn't give him anything to really let me sink my teeth into him. Like, say what you want about Yen Chen, the other pirate skin, there was lore behind her. And it was good lore. Like, her lore was top tier. It was solid. It fit. It was related to the world at large. It interacted with elements of the world. It had a big impact. This guy, he's showing up to steal money from Vortigern. Woo! Yippee! Yay! So I'm honestly just kind of like, nah, to this. Like, look, I'll give it its fair due. I'll get the skin. I'll read the lore. I'll figure it all out. But as it is right now, all I can say about this, from my personal vantage point, is this was caving to community whining, and that's my issue with it. Is this the worst lore, or is there worse? I need to read the full lore to know for sure. I need to read the full lore to know for sure, but I don't know. And then finally, to address Emerald Lion's question before they go back to it. Emerald Lion, you said you ran into Jonathan. There is a story behind Jonathan and us. Jonathan is a big hater of the samurai. He was going after you because you played samurai. Don't give him a moment's interest. He's an asshole. He's always behaved like an asshole on the stream. He's a troll. Don't let him get to you, okay? We banned him from the community because he became a troll in our community. Don't worry about him, okay? All right, let's turn this back up. I think they're about done, so thank you for letting me out.
And or participating.
Exactly.
And get everybody you know to participate. Get them to buy the game and log and get to the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
That's it.
It has to be everything.
Come play. Come play.
I'm in.
Easy. Easy.
Yeah, even Lightberry,
Lightberry is going to be there.
right?
See, this could be a team of 4. This could be a winning
Yeah,
team
yeah.
of 4 right
exactly.
here.
He's gonna carry us for sure.
Yeah, I got Light Perry's gonna
Light Perry is
carry us.
gonna
I like
carry
it.
us.
I like it.
Shot calling.
Yeah.
All right, folks, stick around. I'm going to bounce out, and you're going to hear some patch notes with these
Patch
two.
notes. What are those patch notes?
I don't know, but I'm heading out.
It's like a 1-page Word
Yeah,
document.
it's it.
It's nothing.
It's one slide that says patch notes.
That's it.
Is he trolling us now? Like, because we all complain that we don't get a lot. Is he Is he trolling now, saying it's only one line? It's only one change. All right, let's hear the patch notes. Okay, I will say this though. This pirate themed season is pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm behind this pirate themed season. I like the music is good, the atmosphere is good. I could jig to this. All right, here we go, guys. I'm so excited. No, Aaron, it's fine. I understand what you're saying. You would have preferred Charles Vane. My issue isn't who they based it on. I mean, obviously, Blackbeard's overrated, but my issue isn't who they based it on. My issue is they didn't do the skin any justice. They basically just said, oh, they want a male pirate. Who's a good male pirate? Blackbeard? Throw Blackbeard in there. That's all they did. They didn't do anything more. Imagine this, Aaron. They were inspired by Charles Vane, so they made the pirate look like Charles Vane, but they didn't do anything with the lore. They didn't do anything meaningful. They just said, hey, look, it's Charles Vane.
Welcome back,
I think that's
Warriors.
lazy.
I'm over here again.
All right, moving on.
Still here.
You're still here. We told you you'd be here.
The summoning ritual worked, but
Oh,
now
man.
this is like it's about to wear off. So
Yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna
no.
disappear back into
So we got to make this segment count, though.
Yeah, you gotta make it
So
count.
That's good. Also, I'm just noticing here that like the pirate hat we have on the Warden helmet is like
Yeah.
almost like perfectly
Almost,
lined
eh?
up, man. That's
You gotta like.
I just
line it up
noticed
like
that.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It's almost good. All right, it's great.
All right, come on, guys.
So, yeah,
Here we
well,
go.
that was super cool. JC, like the competitive
excited?
circuit is
I'm
always
excited.
amazing. Like I'm so excited to see. And again, we've alluded to it a bit, but there might even be. You whispered some secrets, some things that will come to light right now, and that
Yes.
could have a fun little impact this weekend. So or next, whenever we start.
Yeah.
So JC, let's talk patch notes then.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the slide.
Okay, there it is. We're good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. See you next time. No.
It is right. Okay. No,
Patch notes. Okay.
We're just kidding.
Yeah.
There might be a couple more.
All right. Let's see what we got.
What we got?
We want to look at the first one.
I do. Yeah.
All right. Let's have a look.
All right.
Stamina improvements.
Oh no! There's no more stamina drain or stamina pause on pretty much every single attack except throws and Junjun's Fairy Punish.
Oh dang.
So something that's been super highly requested for a long time. It was a long time coming, to be honest.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, people often like just go, there's like, Blackbriar's Bash and like Warden's Shoulder Bash that do stamina damage. There was a lot of attacks that dealt
There
stamina
were.
damage.
That list was big.
It's not all of them did a stamina pause, so it wasn't always obvious. Now it's just completely gone, except for throws. Because again, we do want you to be able to like throw somebody and then you get a stamina.
This
and you
is
get
surprising.
cool punishes, and also for Janjung's parry punish, which is just it's the only thing it does. It used to deal 1 damage at the end of the little slap, but we removed it for a lot of different reasons. But still, right now, all the stamina drain except for those 2 things is completely gone.
Nice.
So I can't see chat, but I'm sure some people are happy.
Yeah.
So that's slide number 1.
All right.
Let's go to slide number 2.
What? There's a second?
There's a second slide.
Oh man. All right.
I like this because right there's like 3 lines or 4 lines.
Yeah.
But then it's
That's a
a
big.
ton of changes. So
I know.
that's
We could have listed that all out. Yeah.
Katoon.
Katoon.
This is what I alluded to earlier
Yes,
a little
yes.
bit, right? So Katoon right now is not necessarily massively underperforming. Our numbers are a little bit low, but as we mentioned during the competitive tournament, like the segment there are some players that are extremely good with her. I'm not gonna name drop, but you can go watch some footage, and you see them playing with Katoon really well. She's a hero that is really difficult to play effectively. So we're trying to address 3 major problems that the hero has. First is that you can now perform Frightful Kick after a successful deflect.
Nice.
So you know how it kind of felt bad when you're deflecting a raider, and then
Or
just-
Berserker.
or berserker,
Yeah.
whatever, and then you just throw a heavy, and then it does armor doesn't do anything. Well, now you have an option.
Yay! I like
It'll
this.
lead to less damage, right? The Frightful Kick does just still it guarantees a light finisher. You can go back into your run afterwards or whatever. But the idea here is we wanted to give her a different option on deflect rather than making her attack just break armor. Because breaking the armor is one thing. We have it on Orochi, we have it on some heroes. But it's not necessarily always the best thing to do. It can lead to other issues. In this case as well, because it's an attack that is used at a bunch of different places, we didn't want to create the expectation of this version, because we already have different versions are at different speeds. We want to add on top of it, well, this one breaks armor, but this one doesn't, and this one doesn't, and this one doesn't. So at this point, it wasn't really worth it. And it's a lot better to just add a bash there. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Slightly lower punish, but still works quite well. The next 2 changes are concerning her follow-ups after when she does her pin attack, right? So Ultimate Authority and Restless Peace, they're both 100 ms faster on recovery. What this means is that Ultimate Authority is now frame positive, so you have an advantage of 100 ms after you use it, and then Restless Peace, you're back to neutral instead of being negative.
Okay.
So you lose less momentum when using them, especially for Ultimate Authority, where if you end up hitting a light afterwards and your opponent might mash his light, you will beat them. So it creates these sort of situations where the hero is in a bit less, you're still going to neutral, but you're being less penalized for going to neutral.
Okay.
Now these 2 changes, they're interesting. If we find, after looking at the data and after dust has said a little bit more, that they're not enough, we'll look at the hero again.
Okay.
Like I said, she's really potent in the right hands, but looking at the data, her win rate is a little bit lower than what we would have liked. So we're trying to adjust things upwards a little bit. And sometimes, like, we don't want to release a hero that's overly strong, and then when we're playing it internally, some aspects end up being, this is a bit too strong, this is a bit too weak. So this is how we kind of balance. But these changes should really help her perform a little bit better.
Nice. Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Is there a third slide?
I hope so.
You hope so?
I'm hoping so.
I think there is.
Hey.
Pirate.
Pirate, right? So some people called that, we're not going to nerf Pirate. We're actually not nerfing Pirate, because Pirate does not need further nerfs. She actually needs a little bit of buffs.
A little bit.
But this is a really interesting buff that we're doing here. It's really, really, really different. It's the first time we're trying this. And it's something that I'm hoping is going to work, because if it does work, it's something we can apply to other heroes, right? So Pirate's main issue right now, especially in ones, because this is not really something that will affect fours much, but really ones, is that Cavalier Dance, which is her front dodge heavy, and Walk the Plank, which is like her pin attack that you can do when you're wearing chains, are a little bit too reactable for top level players.
Right.
And so what we've noticed is that they react to the animation. It's not really parry flash. There's been a lot of studies that were done. We had like some stuff happening where we looked at, are people able to react to parry flash? And the answer is no. But they can react to animations. And these 2 animations in particular were a little bit too easy to react to for some players.
This is
But when
interesting.
they react to them late. And when you react late, you parry late, often on the last frame. So we're shaving off that last frame where you can parry. So instead of having the parry window being 200 milliseconds, it's 166
This is neat.
for both of these attacks.
I think
which
they're
will
trying to
them a
make her
little bit harder to
unreactable,
parry,
which
but hopefully
would make her which
will
would make her
it so
stronger.
that they truly become unreactable even at the top level of play, because then even if you look at the animation, by the time your brain processes the information and you press heavy to parry, it would have landed on that final frame, and then you would not you won't be able to parry. So these are like small, very small, very targeted buffs to pirate. If this, like I said, if this ends up working out, I can see this working on Glad's Cure, for example, right? Where there is the animation is a little bit too easy to tell. So if we shave off that one frame on Pirate, does all of a sudden on Gladiator, does Cure?
No,
all
don't
of a
give
sudden
it to
become
Glad.
viable, right? So it's these things that we're trying to experiment and look a little bit further. This is a first step. We'll see if that works out or not. But I think it's a very interesting thing to try out to see that this happened. Because the other option for these was to redo the animations entirely.
Yeah.
And then, so we go back to mocap, we shoot the animations, we have the animation team like reintegrate them, we try them out, and we always run the risk of, you know what, it's still reactable. Right? It's very difficult to have the skill level and the perception needed for players to be able to react to things. And depending on the player, it's different. So it's not something that we can universally just go, hey, we'll just reshoot and it'll be fine. So again, this is like the best solution for this, hopefully, and we'll see where that lands.
Nice. Awesome.
All right. There's more slides?
Oh, man.
I'm going to keep this going because, there's more slides. People keep saying that there's only going to be one slide. Well, there's more than one slide now.
Shaolin.
So, nerf to Shaolin.
All right.
People have been asking for this for a while. So it no longer chains on miss. This was a big thing. Players, understandably, it's frustrating and difficult when you get to that point where Sunsweep, unbalances you. You get a follow-up. And then when you read it correctly and you dodge it, you still you have to do a dodge attack, because if you do a dodge guard break, it doesn't work. The thing is, that was always our intent, to have Sunsweep be punishable by a dodge attack specifically, and not a dodge guard break, because it's really deep into Shaolin's flow.
Right.
You have to go into key stance, then an attack in key stance, then go into Sunsweep. So because of this, we also lowered the recovery of Sunsweep by 200 MS. So when it's at 600,
This is good. I'm behind this one.
Guard break into it, but
I'm
Shaolin
behind
will
this one.
take it.
I'm good with it.
Do dodge attacks against this move. It's deep. We'll see also if this change is enough, if it impacts Shaolin enough there. Shaolin is really high in tier lists, really high in a lot of different things. So, and I know it's an especially strong pain points for a lot of players. So we're starting with this, seeing how it lands up, and then we'll see if we need to adjust further. But honestly, I think this is a pretty good change. It's not a huge nerf to Shaolin, but it'll help players get the upper hand back a little bit.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right.
Another slide.
Woo.
Boom.
Goki.
So we're also nerfing Shigoki.
Yes.
A long time.
Yes.
We added
Yes.
front dodge headbutt could chain on this, and so we're like, yeah, okay, it's cool. It gives Shigoki.
I am so happy.
The problem that kept creeping up over time is that it makes Shigoki far too safe. Unless you have a dodge bash, Shigoki can just front dodge headbutt, or even headbutt in chains, and then use side dodge attack, and you just, I don't care. I'm going to charge my heavy finisher.
Yeah.
And then can punish you for your dodge attack. The problem here is that there's two ways to fix this. Either what we did, so you can't chain on miss.
I love this.
Or
I love this.
you change the timing at which the armor kicks in on the heavy finisher. The problem is that if you change the timing of that armor, it has to be pushed back way too much for every single dodge attack to land, so that otherwise we create just weird exceptions that, my hero is just weak against Shigoki for reasons. But then when that ends up being super late, then Shigoki loses too much effectiveness in group fights, because then you can't ever really use his heavy finishers.
Right.
So we've opted for removing the ability to chain off of those headbutts to not affect the heavy finishers too much. But we also lowered the miss recovery from the front dodge version so that you can't get a guard break off of it. So really, like at 600 MS, you have to dodge attack it, but you can't just do dodge into guard break and you're always going to beat it.
Okay,
So
that's
kinda the big
good. So
idea,
they've
is
made
we're
it that
looking
it
to
no longer
change
changed,
the hero
but
a
you
little
still
bit.
can't guard
Nerf
break
him enough
punish
that
it. I'm
it'll
fine
make
with
an-
that.
it'll have an
I'm fine
effect.
with that.
But also not affect too much what the hero can do otherwise.
Right.
Because again, we want Shiroki to be able to use his heavy finishers, and if the armor kicks in too late, they're just.
This
not
is very
at
good.
all.
This is an
They'll
excellent change.
Constantly.
I haven't seen a
It's better
single
to
change they've
sometimes
made that I
throw
was
light that's
100%
enough with your heavy
against.
finishers, maybe do your headbutt when you're outnumbered or when you can risk getting peeled to be able to get better into that.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Sounds good.
And then
Whoa.
another slide.
Kyoshin!
Another slide.
I know.
Light finishers are no longer
Slight
undodgeable!
Kyoshin again. So light finishers are no longer undodgeable, and we've also lowered the damage to 14 down from 16.
I'm sorry,
So,
POV.
The
I'm
undodgeable
sorry,
part is
POV.
interesting. Heavy finishers are still undodgeable.
I'm sorry, POV.
So when we were looking at Kyoshin to go, what kind of adjustments could we do to Kyoshin? This one came up because like, does the hero need to have 2 undodgeables in his kit?
Right.
The answer is no. Right.
He doesn't
We
need them.
initially to have a bit of parity there and to make like something a bit more interesting, but then it ended up being too much. And then when we had decided, do we remove the light ones or the heavy ones? And it's generally better to remove light undodgeables. Again, for what I mentioned a little bit earlier, right? Where if you're a bit off, or
That makes it much trash anyway.
PS4,
Way to be a sport,
you know,
POV.
on game mode, on like a third-party controller that has a ton of input lag, it's super hard to block lights and chains. We
Yeah.
get it. We completely.
I know you love
understand it.
Kyoshin, that's why I'm
So being
teasing
able
you.
to dodge them is important. They're still able to be dodged and everything, so that's okay. But the idea here is that because that undodgeable there becomes a double read of I know undodgeable is coming, but then I have to guess also in which direction it's coming, doesn't make a ton of sense. So because of this, it's better to remove undodgeable there, because if it's an undodgeable heavy, even on those really the worst conditions ever,
Yeah.
you have the time to see the swing,
Right.
and you can block it. So it's totally fine. It kind of works out that way. You'll get more damage also off those heavy finishers, so that works. It discourages light spam as well, so that's always kind of good to have. And the damage was also a little bit too high, so we toned it down to what is more normal, acceptable.
Cool. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
POV, I
All
agree.
right, and
I agree.
then-
All right,
One final slide.
Shaman!
Right?
a
So
big
there
one.
was more than one slide. There was a bunch of slides.
We had a few. We had a few.
And this slide is pretty packed, but essentially for Shaman, we've adjusted and improved their weapon trajectories.
Okay.
So they match the weapon visuals
Okay.
on the following attacks. There's a massive list. It's almost every single one of them.
Almost our whole kit. Yeah.
So this
I'm
is
sorry, Mal.
really interesting because first of all, like Shaman had a hard time in group fights because she had no reach. Everything was super stubby. So we started working on this quite a while ago, actually. And what we discovered, because Shaman is a year 1 DLC hero, like a year 1 that's 9 years ago, and back then our animation team were sometimes doing things that looked amazing, where if you're moving left or moving right or moving front or standing still when you're throwing attacks, you got different animations coming out because it looked better.
Right.
So this is super cool, but it brings a problem where, well, the attack data, which is separate from the animation data, right? That's why we can have like trajectories and adjust them and everything. It doesn't necessarily it doesn't have to match 100% the weapon. It's not the weapon that's hitting you. It's an actual trajectory that we set. Like it's a hitbox in traditional fighting games. And so, but it makes it different because if you're walking left, for example, and you're throwing an attack, then the timing of the trajectory of the hitbox might be, and actually was different than when you're walking right or walking front or staying
No
neutral.
PK buff.
So
PK, I don't think
even
needs
though
a
we
buff
could
right now.
pick-
PK is pretty
we kinda picked
strong.
one and went, okay, well then this
PK is pretty strong as is. I don't think she needs
Then you
anything.
were walking left or right.
She's one of the
and it
stronger assassins right
didn't
now.
match at all. It created like crazy phantom hits and all sorts of things. So we had to work with the animation team, and I want to give like a major big shout out and thanks to Noel that you've met last time, I think.
We did. Yeah.
Who worked super hard on this to normalize the animations and to rework them so that they all were the same, whether you're moving left, right, or front or whatever, and it allowed us to do this in a really good way. So Shaman should now at least be a lot more viable in 4s, where she doesn't have the most massive reach. Her weapons are not the biggest weapons in the game, but she actually is able to hit people externally now, right? There's a lot of those things that kind of help into what she can do that she couldn't do before. I'm hoping it'll help Shaman go up a little bit in the ranks. Like, she's been bottom tier for a while.
Yeah.
It's been really difficult. Her ganking, while it was like top tier for a while, the issue that's crept up over time is that it takes too long. Like, she starts up by it takes a long time. Coupled with the difficulty that she has in like participating in group fights, made her really lackluster. So with this change, at least we're addressing one part of the problem and trying to figure out, can we make Shaman better and can we make her better in group fights? So super happy to have this in.
Yeah.
I know at least one person that's also been bugging me about this. It's probably like happy right now.
Yeah.
That's great. But really, it's a big quality of life change for Shaman. It might not be super obvious, but when you start testing it out and you throw side heavies and you start to hit people outside, it feels really good.
That's good. And I also wanted to just kind of say on that too, it was a lot of animation work from Not Well, but the attack on effect of that too is we had to redo like all the VFX trails on that.
Yeah,
too. So I just also wanted to give a shout out to like Kim, the VFX team, because it was also a lot of work on their side to kind of go through and make sure all those things were updated as well.
It's
so
one of those things that like it sounds like, oh yeah, they just need to do this and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Then when you get deeper, and that's why I loved Matthew's segment before.
Yeah.
Because you get it. Some people were like not really getting it, and I understand because it's super technical and it might not be super interesting.
I find
Some
it fascinating
people,
personally.
I loved it, and I know a bunch of people in chat loved it because I was reading chat as it was happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like sometimes you think, this is just super easy, just do this, and it takes 2 seconds, and then
Yeah,
you
guys,
have
I
to
can't
look at the
stress
impact
enough.
it
He's
has.
100% right. He's
Sometimes
100% right. We
audio
cannot.
needs to be a
We
fast.
really do.
Sometimes VFX
We
needs to be
really
fast.
don't appreciate what
Animation
these
needs to
guys
be
do.
fast. If we're changing
It's not even
the
funny. Like,
number of
we
it,
really need to
the
respect
damage
the
from
amount
that
of time and effort they
usually
put
is
into
not a
this
problem,
game.
But a lot
Like,
of the
it
time,
is
as soon as we
crazy.
start to touch
Like
animation,
we often say, "Oh,
start to
just
touch
do
the
blank,
texture,
just
start
do
to
this. It's so
a
easy.
lot
I would
more
fix it.
people
Just do
need to get
blank."
involved.
We really don't
And
know
it's
what
a
all
big
goes on
team
behind the
effort.
scenes,
It
and
really-
we
everybody
take
works
this game for
together
granted way
super
too
hard
often. We really do.
to push these things together. The animation team is amazing. The VFX team is amazing. Our audio team also is like really great. The design team is good. Everybody works together super hard to deliver like the best that we can here, and you'll be able to see that on the hero reveal we're gonna have. Next Warriors
So
then.
there's a little.
There's a lot of really cool things
No,
happening there.
we can't
So
do
it's
that.
great. Wait, I can't do that. I can't go into too much detail. But
We're very excited.
again, big collaboration there, and big shout out to all of these teams involved. It's super good.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, JC, for all these more than one page of patch notes.
Yeah.
I loved it. That was a lot, so really cool stuff.
Well, you know, like last second, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna add a couple pages.
Was that because that's all it is?
Like just this morning, I did it and I put it in.
Well, I'm glad. I think you made the right decision.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, folks, we hope you're excited for all of these too, and you can check all of these changes out tomorrow when the patch goes live. So we hope you look forward to that and check it out. And again, leave us your feedback. And don't forget, if you have any other feedback, you can always go to our bug reporter site too if you want to report anything. So, quick shout out to that. You can see the link here on the thing. So don't forget, we still check that, and we'd like to hear your feedback there if you have anything to report.
I need to add something
yeah.
quickly
Mhm.
because I know it's a concern that a lot of players have, and for some reason it slipped my mind, but it's very important. I got confirmation from our programming team that the missing VFX bug on AoEs and feats should be fixed. So when I say should, is that they went through everything and tried to fix it. Every single instance that we got reported that people were seeing on Reddit, on YouTube, or whatever, we had one of our dev testers like really try it out and try to reproduce it. They couldn't reproduce any of these instances, but that's great. So it should be fixed. Now, if you do find an exception and there's a feed VFX that's missing, like an AoE or something, that is still not there, please go on the bug reporter and report it, and we will, the programming team, the GPP team, will get right on it to fix it. It's possible that they may have fixed things, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
But at the very least, for the tournament, it should be fixed for the vast majority, if not all, instances of this happening. So I'm really happy. It was a problem that we've had. I saw footage about it this morning. People like going, "Hey, this needs to get fixed." It was fixed, so it should be
good.
all good now.
All right. And the power of bug reporter, folks.
Yes.
So we need that data. It helps us out a lot. So thanks.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, JC, once again, thank you so much for all the updates, all the cool information.
I will disappear back into the ether.
It's always that to make more patch notes.
And now JC
All
shall
right, so,
ascend into
Warriors,
heaven
don't
to
go
prepare the
anywhere,
way
though,
for
'cause
us
coming
for
right
honor
up next,
warriors.
we've got a fun little wrap-up outro segment.
And
for
I
you
say
all,
unto
so,
you,
stick around.
go
We'll be right
therefore and make wardens of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the knights, the Vikings, the samurai, and the Wulen. Amen. Nah, I'm kidding. I couldn't resist. All right, well, those were honestly really good patch notes. I think all of those were really good, really warranted. This is one of the best patch notes I've seen in a long time, and I struggle to think of anyone complaining about them. I know there will be people who complain about them. There are always people who complain about them. And honestly, this Warriors Den has been pretty spectacular. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is clearly they didn't put a lot of thought into the skin and how it fits into the lore. They probably only added the skin just to say, okay, stop asking for it. That's probably the only reason they added. But you know what? It's still a decent looking skin. It looks fine. I'll read the lore, see what it has to say, and I'll let you guys know what I think. But yeah, we'll see. All right, POV, thanks for dropping in. The patch notes were goated. Message me sometime. We can chat about it. I'm going to grab lunch after this, and then I'll get to work on making the summary video. So we'll talk about that then. But let's hear the wrap-up, and then we'll call it a night, huh? Well, at least until the stream tonight. I might stream tonight. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe Lark will stream. Today is Wednesday. It's usually... You either stream on Wednesdays or Thursdays, bro. We'll talk about it over lunch. What are you thinking for lunch?
Welcome back, Warriors. We are here.
We are here.
At the wrap-up. I've developed a beard in the
You
past.
grew a beard in between
yes,
these segments.
yes,
I wish my
yes,
beard
I
could
have.
grow that fast.
It's quite a scruffy and manly beard.
It
Yours
keeps,
does.
It keeps
You
this
just
guy
don't
warm.
shave it.
It does. You have a little food in there for the light Perry the parrot.
It's a good.
Let's hope the lore won't be like Houndmaster.
Spoonful
No. Houndmaster's lore is an abomination of God.
My pirate accent isn't as good as yours.
You got to try, laddie. Let's hear.
Abominable.
Yahar!
Yahar!
All right, I like.
If you're gonna do your
Alright,
pirate
why
voice,
don't
you
we,
gotta do it right,
take a look
laddie.
at some of the stuff
I
that we
would go to my
covered today.
Scottish pirate there. The
We've
Scott
got,
pirate.
Of course, Captain Coalheart hero skin for 25k steel, looking so good.
Oh, if he's Blackbeard, does that mean he'll go?
Our new battle pass, as well as our legacy pass, our free event pass, crashing waves.
Exactly. They would make this season work so well if it was all about the pirates who don't do
Hero
anything.
Fest for Blackfriar, Medjay, and Warlord.
All right. Our Hero Fest are Black Prior on
Battle
July
Patch.
3rd, Medjay July 10th, and Warlord July after
Okay,
that.
that's okay. The throwback event, Hyper Duel. There we go. We've got testing grounds, defensive dodge properties as well. See that. There we go. From June 19th to June 26th. And of course, we have our circuit starting soon. Triple threat. Can't wait for that. Gonna be awesome.
Yarr, it's gonna be quite the epic event there. I'm really looking forward to it, and I love me the new battle pass. And
You know, I'm not gonna lie. He looks like he could be a pirate. Like, lose the glasses, put him in a pirate outfit. He could do it. He could pull it
You
off.
know
I
what,
could see.
folks, and all
On the
crew
Lark,
and
the one
land
on the
lovers out
right.
there, we've got some more content of the week coming your way, starting tomorrow. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. From June 12th to July 3rd. Time limited.
Hey, look at that! It's me first
You can
mate.
get Light Perry the parrot.
You could have lost the
for your
hat, but I
very
like
own-
the parrot.
Aye. And the parrot is quite incredible. She looks amazing. She sounds amazing. Trust me, you're gonna want this one.
It's great.
On top
Friend
of
or foe?
that, in
Okay, what's this?
honor of the upcoming circuit here, we've got a execution inspired by the.
Oh, that's
of
so
Foe
sick!
and
Do it again. Do it
Forehead.
again.
So make sure you pick
Do it
this
again.
up for 10k steel and equip it for the upcoming circuit. Arr. We're gonna just watch it. And the headbutt.
Oh,
Always
that's so
approve of a
good.
headbutt
Give me
there.
that.
On top of that, we have some amazing retrofit content coming your way, all piratey themed, gahar, so including the Land Ho emote for 5,000 steel. Also, the Buried Treasure free roam emote there for another 5k steel. So look at this, Hatun. She be digging for the treasure. She's
No
looking
more
for me
weapons.
chest.
She doesn't need more weapons in her arsenal.
Arr. Shovels of danger.
Should have given it to Sohei. Sohei could have been doing that because now he's got another weapon.
No, it's because Mijai has it there. It's the pile of treasure signature, also available for 5k steel. Best watch out, Mijai. You don't want the Hatun coming after the treasure. There we go. But just in case somebody does find your treasure, we have the Lure of Riches Execution for available for 7k steel. So just in case they get a bit too greedy, send them to Davy Jones's locker. There you go. And finally, the retrofit for the Barroom Brawl. So just in case things get a bit too out of
Ocelotl
hand,
was
don't
thirsty.
forget that your first weapon is the one in your hand. Right, fall down.
Brutal.
There it is. So we hope you appreciate that. On top of that, we have us a weekly arcade quest, the Black Prior Supremacy. That's available tomorrow for all players, so make sure you get out there and play it. And don't forget about the event order, Crashing Waves, Week 1. Be the first faction with the most Dominion matches won, starting from June 13th through the 16th. And we have a Battle Pass Points Fest with the Shark Boy itself up there. So get double the Battle Pass points at the end of every match. And on completed orders and contracts, you don't want to miss this one.
That one's awesome.
Yar.
Your accent is just spot on.
Dude, I love his accent. The fact that he did that the whole way through was
I
excellent.
think people would have gotten too annoyed.
No, it was good. Good
Sounds
job.
great.
All right.
We also have some community corner. So why don't we pass it to...
Not to be contrarian, but if that execution is so cool, why are you against a barehanded fighter?
What's going on,
There's a
Warriors?
difference
Welcome back to
between
the
a
show,
barehanded
man.
fighter in the game versus a barehanded
Sharp.
execution.
I'm good. Barrett,
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. The Year 9 Season 2 is coming out very, very soon, tomorrow. The Blackbeard skin looks absolutely amazing. Been doing a lot of stuff with it. It's really cool to get a nice little swashbuckler hero
I'm so
skin
excited
for
about it.
Pirate.
Yeah.
Yep, so we got some clips we want to show off, some artwork. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first
All
one.
right, let's
from
see 'em.
Friendly Chipmunk.
Oh, this one's awesome. It's a bot clutching a 1v4.
Never underestimate your bots.
Yeah.
Like
For the victory.
double ledge, bro.
What
I'm
the?
sitting there and watching this happen.
Yeah.
I always say whenever we have bots like
What?
don't underestimate them.
Did that bot just clutch?
Then we got another here from Top
That's
Man
incredible.
19. Watch out for those trap doors. I always like trying to get, especially when you and I play, I like trying to get you those trap doors, man. And it's just pure chaos. Everyone's jumping down. Everyone's dropping.
Like flies too, yeah.
Dropping like flies, and there goes another one. And now we've got a absolutely diabolical play here from Bilbo using the shaman. I'm pretty sure that's like the fish emote, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then just absolutely just pops out
I've
and
seen
gets the
Bilbo doing
kill.
it. Oh no.
Yep. I don't care what anyone
That was
says.
evil.
Pineapple does not belong. Poor guy.
Yes!
And this
Do
is
that.
from all the way back in 2018, and that Gladys gets
The teammate
collateral damage. Collateral.
I
damage.
forgot about that map change.
And then
It's
we
crazy.
got another clip here
This
from.
one's awesome. It's from Mr. Scrake, and it's. I think we already shared it on our socials, but this is just such a sick use of Ocelotl's entire kit.
And the entire way that it's done is just clean.
Yeah, you got the trap, chain,
Get over
and
here.
that. Oh, it's so cool.
And now you are a puddle.
Yeah, that's
Puddle of magma.
brutal.
Oh, that was mean.
But
I
those
love
are
it.
all the clips that we have for today. Obviously, if you want to be featured for the community corner or when we post up community clips on our socials, just post on Reddit, tag us on Twitter. I almost said Facebook again. Oh my god. But yeah, well, we always are looking at UGC, looking for things to post up and kind of showcase all the awesome work that you guys do and all the awesome clips. So keep them coming, please, please, please.
We're also gonna message you if you post stuff, so please keep your DMs open because we'll check it out.
We're sliding into the DMs. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for us. We're gonna kick it back over to the studio. So thank you for joining us.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.
Har, 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 har.
Yar, har, 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 har,
They always be amazing, they do. And,
It's a pirate thing.
Just a huge shout out to me mates Jet and Josh over there on the pirate fleet out there doing the Lord's work on the sea. We appreciate you. All right.
Nerf bots, I guess. The bots.
Also, Nerf bots. What
Yeah.
the heck?
That bot
We're gonna have
kicked
to talk to somebody
ass.
about that.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll put in a word.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
But yeah, I think that's it for us, Nolan.
Wait, it's not it actually.
what?
You know, I have another piratey joke for you. Would you like to hear it?
Please, please.
All right. So this weekend, I came home and I had some paper towels caught in my cap. And me wife asked me, why are there paper towels there caught in your cap? And you know what I told her?
What?
I said, I got a bounty on me head.
That was actually a good joke. That was actually a good joke.
like a bounty.
I like that.
Y'all have to pay me for that. You know, first one was free. That one's going to cost you 5K, Steve.
Okay,
That was great.
Bro, that
Thank
was
you for
actually
that.
funny. That was actually funny. I'm gonna leave a comment on the stream
now
saying that
it's
was actually
officially
funny.
it for us,
I'm out of jokes now.
folks.
I've got more pirate
see you
jokes
on
for
the
you.
Battlefield. Enjoy tomorrow. Have fun. But I believe we're raiding someone.
Who we be raiding?
We're raiding Ferrum.
Oh, Faram.
Head over there and say hi.
Don't just say hi. Give him a good old-fashioned "Yar" as
Do
soon
that.
as you get there.
All right, folks. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, sometime I am going to have to stream on Twitch so that they can raid me. Wow. Okay. Dang, guys. Just dang. Whew. Well, all right, so we're going to go ahead and start to wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Before we go, just a couple things that I do want to say and clear up so that everyone is cool and we are all on the same page. This season looks really, really tight. I really like what I'm seeing. The skin looks good. I just don't like their rationale for why they added it or why they chose to do it. I think that that was a very poor decision on their part, at least in my opinion. I like the patch notes. I like the changes to the map that we saw. It looks great. I love that little segment about learning how they made the water effects and the wind effects and all that. That was really, really neat. I loved what they added. The testing ground is going to be a hit or miss for me. I like the first thing that they're changing, but I don't like the second, so we'll need to see how that comes out. A lot of this was really good. A very good way to spend the beginning of an afternoon. But now I am quite hungry, so me and Lark are going to grab lunch in just a second. And we will talk more about this. I will release a video later today going over everything, giving a brief summary of all that we heard. Hope you guys will catch that. Also, on the channel, I have released my very first episode of the new For Honor Heroes Analyze series, where I talk about Warden. It is only available right now to members of the channel, so if you are not a member of the channel, you will have to wait until it comes out tomorrow. But if you want to see it early, become a member of the channel, and you will be able to get access to the video and watch it. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Although the video is now outdated because I talked about how Warden's shoulder bash can punish stamina, and now it looks like they're changing that tomorrow. So... well, consider it already outdated, but only that part's outdated right now. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate you joining me today. If you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon that you can become subscribed to. I have a Teespring store where you can get some awesome merchandise. I have a Discord if you want to join, but I'm not on there all that often. And if you ever want to donate, and thank you to all of you who donated today, really, really appreciated it. If you want to donate to the channel, would very much appreciate that too. Thank you guys so much. You guys are incredible. You are the reason I continue to do this. Stay tuned. I will let you know on Discord if we stream tonight and who will be streaming. That's about it. Thank you guys so much. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.